Hello, race fans. Welcome to Antioch Speedway, where we have a Dwarf Car Mania taking place. That's right, the Delta Dwarf Car Special 2-day show. The Dwarf Car Mania here tonight with a lot of Dwarf cars. You'll be final count in just a little bit as cars are still rolling in. Hot laps are underway. We're going to have a great night of racing. So this is a lot like the Bill Bowers Memorial Race, where tonight we are having points. For passing points, you lose points if you get past, you gain points if you pass. It is based on your starting position compared to your finishing position, so you can't drop to the back, go forward, drop to the back, go forward, and earn extra points. It is, if you start third, you have the opportunity to pass 2 cars, and if you win, you'll get those 2-car passing points. It is a beautiful night here at Antioch Speedway. I'm Wiley Wade, thanks for tuning in. I'll let you get watching the hot lap sessions here tonight with all these race cars. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, day 2 tomorrow, where we're going to have another exciting fun-filled evening of racing, joined in with the Vintage Hardtops and the Valley Sportsman. Kevin Moralio going down the front straightaway into turn number 1 right now in the 40 car. On the back straightaway, we got the 63 car of Buddy Olszewski. In front of him, the 66B, that's Mark Biscardi, is out there. Go up to the 12 car. That is Justin Bingman in that pink 12 car. The 92 car you see coming up off turn number 4 is Brandon Wiley. And the other car out there right now going down the front straightaway, the 14 car. I believe that's Tommy Velasquez. Getting ready for the next set of cars coming out for hot lap sessions. Again, a beautiful night for racing here at Antioch Speedway tonight. Passing points in play. Got cars here from California, Nevada, Oregon. Got one from Medford, Oregon. Out there tonight. All over the West Coast coming in for tonight's racing action. Again, a 2-day show, unlike the regional event we had here back over the summer. This one is more like the Bill Bowers Memorial Race. with passing points. I think we're moving 6 on tonight into the main event directly tomorrow night. And more racing tomorrow, of course. So. Thanks for tuning in to Antioch Speedway TV. Make sure you keep an eye on Antioch Speedway by Promotions Facebook page, AntiochSpeedway.tv on Facebook, and also Antioch Speedway Announcer on Facebook. Keep up with all the racing information from Antioch Speedway. We do have an open practice session coming up on Wednesday night. We'll be out here from 5 to 9 p.m. for Wednesday night's practice session. Again, it is an open practice session if you want to come on out. Love to have you. Getting ready for the next group to come out for their hot lap session. My broadcast partner, Joe. I'm not sure if he's going to make it tonight or not. He was still at work, had to work today. Not able to make it out here, at least for this part of the program. Hopefully coming out in just a little bit. If not, he'll be here tomorrow for another exciting, fun-filled evening of racing, live and direct from Antioch Speedway. Got some cars here that we did not have back in July for the regional event. Nice to see some newcomers. Again, California, Nevada, and Oregon all represented here. So far tonight, expecting there are some other cars that we're anticipating showing up tomorrow. I've heard a number of them couldn't make it on Friday and asked if they could come in and try to make the show tomorrow, which said absolutely, come on out. If you missed it, Dad did get out and do a shorter than normal pre-race show. Earlier tonight, we will, of course, do that again tomorrow, right here on Antioch Speedway by Promotions is where the pre-race show is at. And then I start out over there, and then Joe picks it up over on AntiochSpeedway.tv on Facebook as well. So by my count, 33 cars here tonight. Again, we'll have the Vintage Hardtops and the Valley Sportsman coming out tomorrow night to join us. Getting ready for heat races coming up in just a couple minutes. Track is about ready to go. Looks like we've got
10 heat races in all tonight between, so each one will line up according to the original lineup, and then the second heat race for this same group of cars will come back out in the second round but revert the order. This is where normally you're looking for a pill, draw low. Tonight, with the passing point situation involved in this, you were kind of looking for a middle one. You want to kind of start in the middle of your heat race and make some passes. You do lose points if you do get passed. And again, it is not passes throughout the race. It is passes based your starting position to your finishing position. Race number 1 rolling off. This gentleman had a number 2 pulled for him, starting on the point. Scott Dahlgreen out of Balaco, California, in a 21 Double D to 2019 Delta Dwarf car champion here at Antioch Speedway. Outside of that row is Ellie Russo, the 31 Double D. Both those cars out of the Wagner Racing stable. Inside row 2, the 38 car, that's John Tardif out of Clyde, California, and Camden Robustelli out of Medford, Oregon, in the 25S outside row 2. Row 3 is a 20N out of Joe LeDuc out of Tracy, California, and outside of him, it's Darren Brown driving the 11 car. He's out of El Cajon, California. In your fourth and final row for heat race number 1, it's a 14DN of Tim Fitzpatrick out of Virginia City, Nevada, and outside of him, Mike Grennert in the 12N out of Fairfield, California. Starting lineup for heat race number 1. Give them the 1 to go signal at the starter stand. We're going to go race it next time by. 34 cars here tonight. So far, I did see one pull in a little bit ago. I'm not sure if they made the lineups yet or not, so we may add a 35th one here shortly. Soon to find out. Scott Dahlgreen, Ellie Russo on that front row, teammates, both out of the Wagner Racing stables. On the front row, John Tardif and Camden Robustelli. Row number 2 coming around for the green flag this time by. Green flag in the air. Dahlgreen with a good start on that bottom side. Coming down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Ellie Russo cuts down low. And to her outside, Camden Robustelli gets around her. Up into that third spot already, Darren Brown in the 11 car. He passes on the outside of turn number 4, the 25S of Robustelli, and picks up that second spot. Now we got a battle on the lead, for the lead down the back straightaway. Darren Brown looking to get around Scott Dahlgreen. Going through turn number 4, Dahlgreen gets sideways. That opens up the door, new leader at the line. That is that Darren Brown car, the 11 car. Now side-by-side battle for the lead down the backstretch into turn number 3. Dahlgreen pushes up the hill. He was side-by-side entering turn number 3, but he lost grip entering the turn, pushed up the hill. Spanky, Mike Grennert, up to the second spot. Dahlgreen now losing the third spot to the 25 car of Camden Robustelli. Top 3 transfer to the A main tonight. 4 down, 4 to go, halfway through this 8-lap heat race. For heat race number 1 and the Delta Dwarf cars. The leader at the line, Darren Brown. Going into turn number 3, he's all by himself. Mike Grennert in the second spot. Third, it is the 25Fs of Camden Robustelli. 4th, Scott Dahlgreen. 5th, Ellie Russo. 6th, it's the 14 car of Tommy Vasquez. Maybe Tim Fitzpatrick. I got to take a look. White flag is out as they come around. One more time around for our leader, Darren Brown. Up off turn number 4 he comes. Checkered flag in the air. Darren Brown wins. Mike Grennert second. Scott Dahlgreen, those are your three transfer cars. Just outside that, Camden Robicelli fourth. Ellie Russo gets that fifth spot. But our transfer cars, Darren Brown, Mike Grennert, Spanky, and Scott Dahlgreen, all making it to the big show. So I said got one car, that car I was talking about that just made it. He is working on getting out here, getting into the car, so he's in the second heat race. So we're going to be just a second. Mike Casaro going to start on the point for this heat race in that 00 car. Outside the front row will be the 088R Antonio Miramonez out of Santa Rosa, California. Mark Briscardi in the 66B out of San Jose, California. Inside row number 2. Outside of him, Tommy Pascales out of Camarillo, California in the 14E. Third row, the 22 Double D. That's Dennis Gilcrease out of Then we have Kevin Morales outside that third row out of Pleasanton in the 40 car. And at the back of the back, Eric Wessler in the 64B. Waiting on one more car. Cars rolling off, still waiting on one car. It counts up to 36 now. Again, waiting on one car to come out as a late arrival Friday. People working on his way to staging. Just heard over the radio. Get this last car out on the racetrack. We'll give him the one to go signal. Mike Casaro, Butch Casaro on the point out of Tracy, California. Antonio Miramontes out of Santa Rosa outside the front row. Row 2, Mark Briscardi out of San Jose and Tommy Velasquez out of Camarillo, California in the 14E. Row 3, the 22 Double D of Dennis Gilcrease and Kevin Moralio out of Pleasanton in the 40 car. At the back of the pack, the 64B of Eric Wessler out of Campbell, California. Green flag in the air. Mike Casaro down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Here comes Mark Biscardi. Side by side, they almost catch going through turns 1 and 2. Biscardi has control of the field as they enter turn number 3. Passes Casaro down the backstretch. Mark Biscardi in the lead for lap number 1. Casaro's getting some pressure. For that second spot. And gets passed by a car that wasn't on my lineup. That is Ryan Winter up there trying to nail down to Mark Biscardi. 37 cars now. 4 down, 4 to go. Heat race number 2 underway for the Dwarf Car Mania. Ryan Winter. Out of Gulf, California. Still about 4 car lengths behind Mark Biscardi. Biscardi having trouble getting around the slower car. Looks like Antonio Miramana is down on the low side. Kevin Moralio in that third and final transfer spot. Mike Casaro in the fourth spot. Fifth is Tommy Velasquez, T3. Tommy Velasquez the third, T3 there. 2 to go. Battle down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Biscardi with it. White flag in the air one more time around. Ryan Winter, a gentleman that's always a threat to win whenever he gets into a Delta Dwarf car or a Dwarf car. Into turn number 3, Winters looks to the inside, coming up off turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Mark Biscardi with the win. Winter second. Kevin Moralio third. Fourth is Mike Casaro after starting on the point. Fifth is going to be the 14E of Tommy Velasquez. Transfer spots go to Mark Biscardi, Ryan Winter, and Kevin Moralio. Your 3 transfer cars. Thanks for the correction, Tim. It's points. So those cars did not transfer yet. It is points. My official sheet says transfer, so I apologize about that. Thank you very much, Tim, for catching that for me. Heat race number 3. Looks like this for heat race number 3 on the point. Sean the Kid Catucci out of Brentwood, California. Outside the front row is 92N of Brandon Wiley out of Santa Maria, California. Row 2, the 29N, Corey Eaton out of Placerville, and Darren Davis, the 6S out of Ascatero, California. Row 3, it is a 22 Double D of David Michael Rosa. On the inside, outside the 81R of Moose, Randy Miramontes out of Santa Rosa, California. At the back of the pack, 31N, that's Dylan Strum. That's your starting lineup for heat race number 3. Lights are out. We're going to green flag racing this time by. Again, Sean the Kid Catucci has control of the field. Green flag in the air. That 92 car, Brandon Wiley out of Santa Maria, California, gets a good jump. He gets out on the point. Catucci falls in line in second. The 81R of Moose Miramontes in that third spot. He's getting pressure on the inside from Corey Eaton. Lap 1 in the books. That 92 car of Wiley getting out there in a hurry. All by himself right now. Sean Catucci into second spot, thirds at 29 in. Corey Eaton. Third, it's that David Michael Rosa guy. New dad, said he talked to him earlier. He's finally getting some sleep, he said. A new baby, new parents. Nice to finally get some sleep. Coming up off turn number 4 at the line. We are 5 down, 3 to go. Brandon Wiley still out on the point. Sean Catucci second, battle for third down. Coming up off turn number 2 on the point is Corey Eaton in that third spot. David Michael Rosa trying to get on the high side into turn number 3. That battle continues up off turn number 4. Rosa trying the high side. Not quite enough there quite yet. Later tonight, that'll get fast, and right now he crosses over, coming up off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Put David Michael Rosa up in that third spot as he now drives away up at the point. White flag for our leader, Brandon Wiley. In that 92A, coming around for the checkered flag. Catucci still in second. David Michael Rosa third. Checkered flag in the air, Wiley with the win. David Michael Rosa tries to go high around Sean Catucci. Nothing to do with Catucci with the second. David Michael Rosa gets some passing points. He started in the 5th spot, finished in the 3rd spot. Corey Eaton 4th, and 5th is going to be the Dylan Strum car, do you believe? Heat race number 3 winner, Brandon Wiley. Definitely does not hurt your chances of making it to the big show later tonight and tomorrow. But he doesn't guarantee anything. You still got to do heat race number, your second one for your group. Heat race number 4 getting ready to roll. On the point, the 812 Double D out of Antioch, California. That is Chance Russell outside the front row. It is the 96B of Nick Squadrito out of parts unknown. Row 2, the 68 car of Dynamite Dave Rosa out of Antioch, California. And Danny Wagner, Captain Chaos out of Bay Point, California, outside row 2. Row 3, the 41E of Nick Velasquez out of Camarillo, California. And outside of him, the 88 Double D. That is Travis Day out of Concord, California. At the back of the pack, the 85 Double D. Jack Haverty in that 85 car. Got the lineup set. We're getting ready to go green flag racing next time by. Thanks again for tuning in on this beautiful Friday night for racing here at Antioch Speedway, live and direct on Antioch Speedway TV. Gonna give him the one to go signal right here. Lights out. Green flag coming out this time by Chance Russell. The 812 has control of the field. Gets a good jump up on the start. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1, but here comes that 96 of Nick Squadrito. Coming up off turn number 4, Squadrito with the lead. Here comes Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. He's on the inside of Chance Russell, picking up that second spot. Russell tries to cross over. Not quite close enough, but he falls in line behind Captain Chaos down the backstretch into turn number 3. Wagner crosses up too high that time, gets up over the cushion a little bit, opens up the door. Chance Russell out of Rio Vista takes that second place back from Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Here they go down the back straightaway. Wagner giving a good shot in the rear end. Into turn number 3 he goes. Wagner back into the second spot. Meanwhile, on the point, it's Nick Squadrito. Danny Wagner in the second spot. Chance Russell third. Fourth is Nick Velasquez. Fifth, Jack Haverty. Sixth, Travis Day. And seventh is Dynamite Dave Rosa. Rounding out your order. 4 down, 4 to go in this 8-lap heat race. 4th of 5th heat races for the first time through. Putting another lap in the books, 5 down. Danny Wagner's got about a half a straightaway to try to make up with 3 laps to do it in. He's got about a half lap ahead of Chance Russell, but the battle for third continues. Right now, Chance Russell has it. Here comes Velasquez down on the inside. That battle for third, now a 3-car battle. 2 to go. Up, down the straightaway. The trunk lid on Russell's car is flapping in debris, but that's not slowing him down any. Coming up off turn number 2. Velasquez is there, but here comes Jack Haverty. White flag is out at the line. Back to that battle for third. Chance Russell still has it. Velasquez is right there. He looks to the inside, going through turns 1 and 2. Falling back just a little bit, opens up the door. Here comes Jack Haverty for that 4th spot. Picks it up at the line. Nick Squadrito takes the win. Captain Chaos second. And we're going to have a mix-up. Looks like the Nick Velasquez finished in the 3rd spot as Chance Russell spun along with Jack Haverty up there in turn number 4. Hearing over the radio, Jack Haverty got into the 812 of Chance Russell, and that spun them both out. Sounded like he was just it was a racing deal, trying to get in there a little too hot, got into him, and they both spun out. So those 2 cars will have to try to come back in heat race number 5. Heat race number 5, rolling Mark Hansen out of Occidental, California in the 18 Double D, normally driven by Devin Cameron. Devin broke his wrist a couple weeks ago at the Marysville race, so they asked Mark Hansen to drive the car. Roger Shores out of Cameron Park, California in the 76 car outside the front row. Buddy Olszewska out of Tracy, California in the 63N inside row 2. Outside him, Chris Becker out of Alameda, California. Row 3 to 7XL, that's Roberto Monroy out of Antioch, California, and Justin Bingman outside of him in the 12 car out of Hollister, California. The back of the pack to 99N, that's Gage Myers out of Placerville, California. That's your starting lineup for the 5th and final heat race for the first trip through the heat races. Again, is passing points and finishing places you'll get points for. That's how we're going to do the starting lineups. We're going to invert all the heat races and run them all again. Give everybody a shot at making some more passes. Coming around, green flag this time by. Yeah, green in the air. Down the front straightaway to turn number 1. It is Mark Hansen in that 18 Double D. Buddy Olszewski falls in line at third. Here comes the 99N of Gage Myers up to the third spot. Fourth, the 76 car of Roger Shores. 1 down, 7 to go. Shores loses that position to the 7XL of Roberto Monroy. Out of Antioch, California. That 18 Double D getting just a little bit sideways, coming up off turn number 2. Lets Buddy Olszewski get within about a car length of him before he gets back on the gas and starts stretching it out just a little bit more. Battle for the lead into turn number 1. Mark Hansen has it. Then we got Buddy Olszewski in the second spot. Gage Myers third, fourth, Roberto Monroy. Fifth is the 76 of Roger Shore. 4 down, 4 to go. In this 8-lap heat race, number 5 for the Delta Dwarf cars here tonight at Antioch Speedway. Getting just a little bit loose. Halfway through 3 and 4 is the 18 Double D. Mark Hansen in that 18 Double D is Cameron. Devin Cameron sitting, recuperating from a broken wrist. 2 to go. That's time by. Got about a 2.7 second lead right now between first and second. Buddy Olszewski losing ground just a little bit. He's holding pretty steady on Gage Myers in that fluorescent green and yellow 99N. White flag in the air at the line. One more time around. Roberto Monroy not making up much ground on the Gage Myers car either. Everybody just kind of hanging out in their positions they're at right now. White flag in the air coming around to the main, to the checkered flag. Mark Hansen with the win in the 18 Double D. Buddy Olszewski started in the third spot, gets second. Gage Myers, he's going to pick up some good passing points. He started at the back of the pack in the 7th spot. Roberto Monroy finished in the 4th spot. 5th is Roger Shores. Mark Hansen with the win. Got to turn the mic back on. Here we go. Heat races 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 getting ready to go. Reverse order from the first few heat races. Line them up. Spanky on the point. Heat race number 1B out of Fairfield, California. That 12N, Mike Grenert. Outside the front row, the 14DN of Tim Fitzpatrick out of Virginia City, Nevada. Row 2, Darren Brown, winner of the first heat race out of El Cajon, California, an 11 car. The 20N of Joe LeDuc in Tracy, California, starting in the 4th spot. 5th, Cameron Robustelli out of Medford, Oregon in the 25S, and the 38 of John Tardif out of Clyde, California in that 6th starting spot. 7th, 31 Double D, Ellie Russo, and at the back of the pack, Scott Dahlgreen out of Balico, California in the 21 Double D. Keep an eye on our website at www.antiochspeedway.com. That's right, www.antiochspeedway.com. If you don't have My Race Pass yet, make sure you pick it up. My Race Pass, that's where you can get all the lineups, entries, finishing orders. When we get our electronic timing and scoring. They will be up there as well. So lots of good stuff. Lights out. We're going green flag racing. Spanky. Mike Grenard on the point. Tim Fitzpatrick outside the front row. Darren Brown, winner of heat race number 1 in that third starting spot. Fourth is Joe Ledoux. Fifth, it is Cameron Robicelli and John Tardiff outside in that sixth spot. Ellie Rousseau and Scott Dahlgreen in the fourth and final row. Michael Grenard, Spanky, threading the needle coming up off turn number 2, grabbing the lead from that as he had 2 cars who was outside and inside. One car having trouble, Joe Ledoux falling to the back of the pack. Spanky up off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. He's got hot on the tail. Darren Brown, winner of heat race number 1. Brown down on the inside. Side by side up off turn number 4 at the line. Give it to Spanky. But Brown's going to grab that going into turn number 1. Light yellow flag is out for Joe Ledoux. Got a Tracy, California. He spun up off turn number 2. Kind of speeds we running? Well, a 16:27 that last lap, 82.975 miles an hour. We're already over 80 miles an hour. It is going to be a fast racetrack as this evening continues on. The lineup is set. Some other places to keep an eye on. Make sure you keep an eye on our Facebook pages. We got 3 of them to talk about. We got Antioch Speedway by Promotions. That is the official Antioch Speedway Facebook page. We also have the AntiochSpeedway.tv, another Antioch Speedway Facebook page, AntiochSpeedway.tv on Facebook. Then we have mine, that's Antioch Speedway Announcer on Facebook, Antioch Speedway Announcer on Facebook and on YouTube. I release Wiley's Race Report usually on Wednesdays on YouTube, then rolls over to the Facebook pages. This week there is an open practice on Wednesday night, so I'm not sure if I'll get it out on Wednesday or maybe Thursday. I will keep it on channels. I'll let you know. I'm going to try it for Wednesday, but I got to get the race car ready, and I got school on Monday night, and so it may not happen until Thursday. We'll find out. Coming around to the green flag, Texas-style restart. Our first yellow of the night is over. Green flag in the air. Spanky down to turn number 1. He got back on the point as we did not complete the lap after Darren Brown passed him. Holds him off. Coming into turn number 3. Spanky slides up the hill just a little bit. Darren looks underneath. Nothing there. Close the door. 2 down. 6 to go in this 8-lap heat race. 1B. Battle for the lead up off turn number 2. Darren Brown looked to the inside of Spanky. Nothing doing. Now he cuts low going into turn number 3. Side by side. Coming up off turn number 4. That high side pays off for Michael Grenard as he pulls back out into the lead. But at center of the turn off, Darren Brown seems to have a better handling car right now. And he keeps diving underneath, but it doesn't work as well underneath. But now as I say that, this time by at the starter stand, give it to Darren Brown by about a foot. Spanky crosses over, cuts back underneath Brown. They almost touch coming up off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 they go. Darren Brown, Michael Grenard. Side by side off turn number 4, but Brown on that high side has the advantage. Gets down to turn number 1 first. Give it to Darren Brown. He's trying to make it 2 for 2 tonight as he won heat race number 1 before they inverted the field. Coming around 2 to go this time by. He's starting to get a little bit of space, a little breathing room between himself and Spanky. That third place car is Cameron Robicelli. 4th is Scott Dahlgreen. He's worked his way up from the last starting spot. 5th, Tim Fitzpatrick in the 14 DN. The white flag is out. Fitzpatrick is sideways. 6th is the 58 or 38 car of John Tardiff. And then Ellie Rousseau at the back of the pack. Checkered flag coming out. He's going to do it again. Taking the win, Darren Brown. Spanky Grenard in the 2nd spot. 3rd is the Cameron Russell car. 4th is Scott Dahlgreen. And 5th is the 14 DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. So Darren Brown going 2 for 2 tonight in the heat races. Picked up a couple passing points there after starting in the 3rd spot. In the 1st one and in the 6th spot, the 2nd one. So he's got some good passing points and 2 wins. on the 2 heat races here tonight. Taking 1A and 1B. Heat race number 2B, I'm sorry, coming out. Lineup looks like this. Eric Wessler out of Campbell, California in the 64B on the point. Outside the front row is Kevin Moralio out of Pleasanton, California. Row number 2 is Dennis Gilcrease out of the 22D out of Parts Unknown, and Tommy Velasquez in the 14E out of Camarillo, California. That is T3. Is his nickname. The 66B of Mark Mascardi out of San Jose, California, winner of heat race number 2. And on the outside, the 088R of Antonio Miramontes out of Santa Rosa, California. And at the back of the pack, Mike Casaro out of Tracy, California in that 00D. Eric Wessler with Cucci Fishing, Advanced Welding sponsorship on that car. Kevin Moralio, sponsored by Mass Powder Coating, Kings Roofing, and Murals by Victoria Moralio. 22 Double D, Dennis Gilcrease. A 34 Ford panel truck. Tommy Velasquez out of Camarillo in the 14E. Haas Automation Incorporated. Bottle Blown Racing, DRI Racing sponsorship on that car. 66B, that's Mark Biscardi. He's got sponsorship of Santa Clara Industrial, Tammy Biscardi, West Coast Mechanical Installation, Santa Clara Powder Coating, and DRI Shocks. The 088R, Antonio Miramontes, with Bear to Bear Cub Detailing and GW2 Graphic sponsorship. And Mike Casaro out of Tracy with Charlie's High Performance Machine, M&M Dwarf Car, or Dwarf World, and his wallet sponsorship on the 00 Double D. Green flag in the air. Kevin Moralio comes out of turn number 2 as our leader. Eric Wessler falls in line in second. Here comes Velasquez, T3, in trying for that third spot. But he's now getting pressure on the low side with the 22 Double D of Dennis Gilcrease. Oh, they get together. Gilcrease has a problem. Velasquez has to avoid him. The 66 of Biscardi has to spin to avoid him. And the 00 Mike Casaro has to spin. We stay under the green flag as everybody rolls away. Kevin Moralio still on the point. Eric Wessler in your second spot. Dennis Gilcrease in that third spot, down into turn number 3. Mike Casaro now at the back of the pack, about to lose a lap as Kevin Moralio is coming up on his rear bumper. Up off turn number 2 they go. Battle for third right now as Gilcrease and Velasquez, T3, battling into turn number 3. 4 down, 4 to go in this A-lap heat race. The battle for third into turn number 1. Gilcrease has it. Here comes Velasquez. He looks underneath, coming up off turn number 2. Can't quite make the move. Down into turn number 3 they go with that battle. Velasquez now goes high. He gets up too high. Loses ground. Loses about 10 car lengths there off turn number 4. But here he comes again. He's back up on his rear bumper in the backside of Dennis Gilcrease. 2 to go as our leader crosses the line. Battle for third coming up off turn number 4. Here comes Dennis Gilcrease, still holding off Velasquez as they work around the slower car. Coming up off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. White flag at the line. One more time around that battle for third. Here comes Velasquez underneath Dennis Gilcrease coming off turn number 4. He gets down to turn number 1. First put Velasquez up in front of Gilcrease, but Gilcrease battles back on the inside. Our leader crosses the line. Kevin Moralio with the win. Here comes second place, 64 of Eric Wessler. T3, Tommy Velasquez in that third spot. Fourth is going to be Dennis Gilcrease, and fifth will be the 66 of Mark Biscardi. Moralio taking the lead earlier, not looking back. It's going to do it for heat race number 2B. Now let's move on to heat race 3B. Dylan Trum in the 31N on the point out of Lincoln, California, with Ingram Eats, 7-Eleven, Goat House Brewing, Kimball Midwest, and Kip Electric sponsorship on that car. The 81R of Randy Miramontes, the Moose, out of Santa Rosa, California, with Bear to Bear Cub Detailing, Friends and Family sponsorship on that car. 2DD, that's David Michael Rosa out of Antioch with Chrisley Concept sponsorship, and the Darren Davis car, the 6S out of Astudillo, California, in the 4th starting spot. 5th, the 29N, that's Corey Eaton out of Placerville, California, with Aircraftsman HVAC and Crane Inspection Agency sponsorship on that car. The 92N of Brandon Wiley out of Santa Maria, California, won heat race number 3A, looking to take home 3B, starting in that 6th spot. The back of the pack out of Brentwood, California, the 43 car of Sean the Kid Catucci out of Brentwood, JNS, or Seductive Sounds, West Coast Green Rush sponsorship on that car. Going to give him the 1-to-go signal next time by. Again, a beautiful night for racing here at Antioch Speedway. Magic green flag in the air. Lights out, going green flag racing next time by. Or this time by as they come up off. Green flag in the air. Dylan Trum down to turn number 1 first in that 31N. Here comes David Michael Rosa in the 2nd spot. Looking to the inside. Off turn number 4. Give it to Strum, though. One down, 6 to go. Into turn number 3 they go. Dylan Strum. Coming up off turn number 4, David Michael Rosa looks to the high side. Coming up off the turn. Looking to the high side into turn number 1. He gets up a little bit too high. Entering the turn, but he gets a good run off the turn. Has to cross over. Gets underneath him into turn number 3. Battle for the lead. Dylan Strum on the high side. David Michael Rosa on the low side. Give it to the 2DD of David Michael Rosa. New leader, Dylan Strum, falls back to the 2nd spot. The 29N of Corey Eaton in that 3rd spot. 4th is our Heat 3A winner, Brandon Wiley. 5th, Sean Catucci. 6th, is the 81R of Moose Miramontes, and at the back of the pack, it's the 6N of Darren Davis. Up front, leader gets up over the cushion. David Michael Rosa still got a comfortable lead. Battle for 2nd. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. It's Dylan Strum on the outside and Corey Eaton on the inside. Side by side coming up off turn number 2. Down the backstretch. Into turn 3 they go. Battle for 2nd. Continues up off turn number 4. As a leader. 2 to go. Dylan Strum still on the high side. Corey Eaton battling on that low side. That car just can't seem to stick. Just on the exit of the turn, loses a little bit of ground. Gets a good entry. Coming around, white flag out for David Michael Rosa. Give that 2nd spot to Corey Eaton. Finally gets around Shroom. Here comes the 92 of Brandon Wiley. He tries to get it, but now Shroom comes back to against Eaton. Side by side on the points. At the line, David Michael Rosa with the win. Give it to the 29 of Corey Eaton. Dylan Shroom in that 3rd spot. 92 of Brandon Wheatley in the 4th spot. 5th is going to be Sean the Kid Catucci. That lap, a 15:87 on the stopwatch, 85.066 miles an hour for David Michael Rosa, winner of heat race number B3. 2 more heat races to go. We do have B features tonight, of course. All right, 4B, Jack Haverty out of parts unknown, the 85 Double D. On the point outside in the front row, it's the 88 Double D of Travis Day out of Concord, California. Row 2, the 41E of Nick Velasquez out of Camarillo, California, and the 11 Double D of Danny Wagner out of Bay Point, California. Row 3, David Rosa, Dynamite Dave Rosa, and the 68 car out of Antioch, and Nick Squatrito in the 96B, winner of heat race number 4A. And then the 812 Double D of Chance Russell out of Antioch at the back of the pack. Captain Chaos, sponsorship from the 11 Double D of the A&J Hauling, Reds, DeCarlo Racing Products, Contra Costa Diesel, and Wagner Racing. Sponsorship on the Nick Velasquez car, the 41E out of Camarillo. That's Haas Automation Incorporated, Bottle Blown Racing, and DRI Racing. Travis Day, King Motorsport, TNT Racing. Sponsorship on that car. One to go signal at the starter stand. Good clean racing going on here tonight. Lights out, going green flag racing. Jack Haverty on the point in that 85 Double D. Coming around, bringing them slow, bringing them high. Green flag in the air, Haverty. At the line down the front straight away into turn number 1. Here comes Travis Day on the high side. Jack Haverty closes that door. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner gets into the back of him as they come up off turn number 2. Wagner now gets around Travis Day. One car spins around up on the high side. Dynamite Dave Rosa spins out. He keeps going. We stay under the green flag. Meanwhile, up front, Jack Haverty on the point. 2 car lengths over Danny Wagner as they enter turn number 3. Turn 1. Dynamite Dave spins again. He keeps it going. We stay under the green. Jack Haverty still on the point. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner in the second spot. Nick Velasquez in that third spot. In that 41E car. 5th right now is the Travis Day, but Chance Russell's on his inside as that battle continues. Meanwhile, that battle for second heats up as Velasquez is right on the rear bumper of Captain Chaos, as Chaos is having some trouble getting around the 68 of Dynamite Dave Rosa car. Finally clears him. Here comes Nick Velasquez. He gets around him. Now he sets his sights back on Danny Wagner as they enter turn number 3. Our leader gets sideways off turn number 4. That allows Wagner to get up almost on his rear bumper. Velasquez must have had a problem. He lost about 10 car lengths. Here we go. Battle for the lead into turn number 3. Smoke coming out of one of the cars at the back of the pack. That is Dynamite Dave Rosa losing another motor. He has had no luck this year. That's his second motor. David Michael Rosa lost a couple motors earlier this year. Hearing over the radio, it may just be water, so hopefully it may be water, it may be smoke. We're having a debate over the radio. Lineup is set. Okay, that puts Jack Haverty, 2 to go. On the point, Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner chooses the low side. Puts Nick Velasquez on the high side. Texas-style restart. We haven't talked about that tonight, so the way that works, the leader gets a row to himself on the front. He can start high, he can start low, he can start in the middle. Doesn't matter. It's up to him. Wherever he wants to start, he can start. Second place car gets to choose high side or low side on the row 2. Behind that, everyone falls in line accordingly. You're going to have these cars run through the fluid that's down on the racetrack. Last lap was a 15.93 on the stopwatch, 84.746 miles an hour. Thanks again for tuning in to Antioch Speedway TV. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. Enjoy some great dwarf car racing. Live and direct from Antioch Speedway in Antioch, California. We're about 40 miles outside of San Francisco, California, to the northeast. Racetrack located at the Contra Costa County Fairgrounds in Antioch, California. 3/8 mile semi-high banked oval here at Antioch Speedway. Configuration of the racetrack was changed a little bit during the off-season, widened out in the turns, about 70 feet wide in the turns, about 60 feet wide down the straightaways. Has made for some awesome racing all season long. 3, 4, and even 5 wide racing at different times throughout the season. But most every week. Most every week, 2 and 3 wide on a regular basis. Lights out, coming green flag this time by. Jack Haverty down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He comes down low right in front of Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. One car spins around. That's the 88 to Travis Day. He keeps on going. We stay under the green flag. Meanwhile, up front, Jack Haverty is still on the point. Sees the white flag. One more time around. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, right on his rear bumper. He's getting a little bit of pressure from Nick Velasquez, who is also getting a little bit of pressure from Chance Russell. Until now, as they spread out coming down the back stretch. Battle for the lead up off turn number 4. Captain Chaos try going high. Nothing happening. Jack Haverty with the win. Captain Chaos second. Nick Velasquez in that third spot. Fourth is going to be the 812 of Chance Russell, and fifth will be the Travis Day car. Last lap of 16:04 on the stopwatch, 84.165 miles an hour. One more time for the heat races. Starting order looks like this: the 99N of Gage Myers out of Placerville, California, with Reeder Brothers Racing, Crane Inspection Agency, and Betty's Pit Shack Girls sponsorship on that car. The 12 car of Justin Bingham out of Hollister, California, outside the front row. Row 2, the 7XL of Roberto Monroy, Clayton Valley Auto Sales, Nick Foster Jr., Nighthawk Security, Mom, Dad, and Lena's Lumpias sponsorship. The 4DD of Chris Becker, scheduled to start 4th out of Alameda, California. Me, myself, and I sponsorship on that car. He's fallen to the back of the pack. 63 of Buddy Olszewska out of Tracy, California, starting in that 5th spot with JT's Go Fast Shop, Joe Hunt Magneto sponsorship. The 76 of Roger Shores out of Cameron Park, California, starts in the 6th spot, and 7th, the 18DD of Mark Hansen out of Occidental, California. 2 cars falling to the back on their own volition. Lights out, going green flag racing this time by. Gage Myers with control of the field. Buddy Olszewska tried to make a move. He did back off, so it looks like we're going to stay under the green flag. Oh, Roberto Monroy goes in there and wheel hops Buddy Olszewska. Those cars sit up against the fence. Yellow flag is out. Seven XL Roberto Monroy drove down into turn number 3 and got into Buddy Olshaka. And wheel hopped him a little bit. Both of them end up against the wall. One car rolling away. One of them needs a tow truck. Up there. Weird situation there. So that will be a restart if I'm not mistaken, because we did not get a lap in. We got a lap in. We did get a lap in. Okay. Door open on that 63 car. We are on the 5th and final round, or heat race through the second round. So our 10th heat race of the night. Coming up, we still have a couple, or a B main. Two B mains. Berta Monroy getting pulled off the racetrack. Get that car back. Hopefully can make it out for the B main. Beautiful night for racing here at Antioch Speedway. Probably the coolest night we have had all season long after starting late in the season. We still have more racing coming up. Don't forget, we're not done yet. Coming up on next Saturday, we got Halloween night, candy for the kids. That's only for the kids that are here with people that are racing. So kids for the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, Super Stocks, and Wingless Sprint Car will be here. This Wednesday, we have an open practice from 5 to 9 p.m. If you have a car you want to test, come on out. It's going to be, those are fun nights, nice and relaxing. Hopefully get my problem figured out on my race car. Coming around to the green flag, Gage Myers still on the point. Myers down into turn number 1. That Mark Hansen in that 18 Double D looks to the inside, coming up off turn number 2. He won heat race 5A. Driving the 18 Double D, normally driven by Devin Cameraman. Filling in as Devin recovers from a injury to his wrist from the Marysville National event a couple weeks ago. Hansen gets a little bit, one car into the wall. All 4 tires left the ground after he hit the wall. Roger Shore, he's got a lot of damage on the right front of that race car. We stay under the green. Side-by-side battle for the lead off turn number 4. Down the front straight into turn number 1. Here comes Mark Hansen. Slides up the hill. Gage Myers holds him off side-by-side off turn number 2. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Hansen on the low side has a good entry to the turn. Gage Myers gets up a little bit too high. Loses some ground. Give the new lead to Mark Hansen out of Occidental, California. Substitute driving in that 18 Double D. He now is checking out as he gets down into turn number 3. He gets sideways. Here comes Gage Myers. Myers not close enough to make a move. 2 to go this time. Down into turn number 3, coming around to the white flag this time by the 18 Double D. Mark Hansen started in the 7th spot. He's in the lead. He's going to pick up a lot of passing points. By the way this thing works, white flag in the air, checkered flag is out. Hansen with the win. Gage Meyer started on the point, finishes 2nd. Chris Becker is going to finish in the 3rd spot. Another driver sweeping his heat races, Mark Hansen. Won both 5A and 5B. All right, heat races are done. Keep looking at our schedule real quick. Again, the open practice is Wednesday night, 5 to 9 p.m. Halloween candy for the kids. Any teams coming out, please bring candy with you. We will have an opportunity for trailer treating. As about 8 o'clock, we're going to shut all the on-track activities down, let the kids go over and go trailer treating through the pit area. And again, we can't open up for folks from the public or non-racers. It has only to do with folks racing here. On the November 21st, we got a new show added, the Open Wheel Night. Wingless Sprint Cars, Wing Sprint Cars, and the 600 Micro Sprints, all on Saturday, November 21st. And then we have 2 nights of racing, Turkey Nights. Friday the 27th and the 28th, Turkey Night 1 and Night 2. On Turkey Night number 1, the Jay's Mobile Welding Hobby Stocks, Wingless Sprint Cars, Wing Sprint Cars, and the Four Bangers. It's not on the schedule yet. I will get it added, but the Four Bangers have been added to Saturday or Friday night, November 27th. The Four Banger Mini Stocks, please come on out on Black Friday. On Saturday, the November 28th, round out our season. It is the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, and the Hobby Stocks, all on Turkey Night number 2. So don't miss all the fun and exciting action. And with that, we are in intermission, and I am going to break open and play for you tonight's pre-race show, at least until we get ready to go green flag racing. So here's tonight's pre-race show. Again, there'll be pre-race show tomorrow night again. Around 3:30-ish, we'll get started. I'll do a pit walk through the pits, and then Joe Peterson should be at the Antioch Speedway TV picnic table with some folks as well over on AntiochSpeedway.tv Facebook page. My part of it will be on Antioch Speedway by Promotions Facebook. Don't go away. Here we go. It's the pre-race show.
Speedway. Yes, it's Friday, and yes, we are racing at Antioch Speedway here today. It is the day 1 of the Dwarf Car Mania here this weekend. It's going to be a lot of great racing action. Got a lot of Dwarf cars here getting ready for some racing action tonight, live and direct from Antioch Speedway. Just head on over to AntiochSpeedway.tv and subscribe for tonight's racing action. Again, Dwarf cars are here tonight. It is going to be like it was back for the Bill Bowers Memorial Race. We're going to have each car will do 2 heat races. Points will be awarded for passing and finishing positions, and we'll get a group together for the main event tonight that'll transfer directly into the main event tomorrow. We'll have some more racing tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll also have the Vintage Hardtops and also the Valley Sportsman will be joining us live and direct tomorrow night here at Antioch Speedway. Thanks for tuning in again on Antioch Speedway by Promotions. I'm Wiley Wade, and it is a pre-race show. Let's take a little walk and see who I can find as we take a walk around. I see some Dwarf cars right over here out of Wagner Racing. See them all lined up, nice and yellow. Allie Russo, come on over. I'm going to have you be the first guest on today's Antioch Speedway TV pre-race show.
Okay, sounds good.
So actually, let me get
let's go this way
and get the lighting better and show your car and back there in the background. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Ellie Rousseau, driver of the number 31 Double D Delta Dwarf car. And this week you were playing crew chief, chief mechanic, chief bottle washer.
All of the above.
All the above, right?
Yeah.
So, you ready to have some fun this weekend?
I am. I'm ready to be back in the car.
How long's it been?
It's been a few weeks now. I have a bad knee, and so it's giving me some troubles, but we took a break. We did some modified racing with Danny, and we're back in dwarf cars, and I'm back in a car again.
Awesome. So are you excited? This is a different format than you normally run here this weekend.
I'm used to running it with the modifieds, but I don't drive with it, so I kind of know how it works, so it makes me a little easier to deal with. But
so how do you approach it? I mean, you know what it's like. You're watching and being with Danny and stuff. You approach it differently than you would say like the regional, because that's a different format, even though it's a 2-day show.
Not necessarily. You hope for a middle pill when you're doing your pill draw. You know, instead of a 1, you're looking for like a 40 or a 50. So not really, though. It's pretty much the same for us.
So if you draw that 1, that's going to hurt you as far as passing points, because you can only go backwards from there.
Yeah.
Like your second heat you can do well, but they may offset if you go back too fast.
Exactly. You always want opportunity to pass instead of getting stuck in the back or in the front the whole time. So
what did you have to do? Because you said you had to work on all the cars because Danny was real busy this week. What did you have to do to all of them?
So mine was pretty much ready because we had worked on it the week prior, but just nutting and bolting the cars, making sure everything is tight, nothing's moved, and if the guys had some issues the week before saying that something doesn't feel right or it doesn't turn right, then I just check it out and make sure everything looks straight. Just do once-overs of the cars, oil changes, that kind of stuff.
So you're not one of these drivers that just shows up, gets in, and drives. You're actually getting your hands dirty during the week.
I wish. No. It takes work and it takes a village, especially with 3 cars, and Danny races other classes, which makes it, you add on to it. So in all reality, we usually are in like 4 cars, so it gets a little hectic.
And I'm trying to convince you to get that 5th car.
Yeah. If we can find the time to, we're going to do a 5th car. Hopefully, I'll be able to get into another one, and I'll be able to feel what it's like to run double duty just as much as he does.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, because I'm promoting the heck out of it, they have a 4-banger, a car that's ready to be built into a 4-banger. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we have a car that he got. It's sitting at the yard, and we're hoping to get it converted into a race car at some point and be able to run her.
Come out and have fun.
Yeah. So.
All right, so you get to race some big shows at the end of the year. How'd you do up in Marysville?
I did okay. I got my first heat race win.
Awesome.
So I just started in February, which makes it really cool that I got a win. It's a heat race, but it's still a win.
Checkered flag.
Yeah, so that was awesome. I felt really good and mostly ran top 10 all weekend, which was awesome. I feel like I made a lot of progress that weekend. So gets me in a positive mood for this weekend.
All right, so who do you want to say thanks for getting you on the racetrack every week?
Of course, I want to thank Wagner Racing, Danny Wagner. He's the man who put me in a race car. Contra Costa Diesel, A&J Hauling, R&D Motorsports. Who am I forgetting? Dutra Racing Shocks, Dahlgreen Motorsports. The list goes on, but my dad. I want to just thank everybody. It takes a village.
It takes a village. All right, well, have fun this weekend.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you out there and hopefully get another checkered flag.
Thank you. We'll see ya.
Spin this around. Oh, look. Sean Catucci.
No. You don't ever quit talking.
Sean Catucci, driver of the 43. Let's see, it's over there. So, let's start out, you've had a very interesting year.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Health-wise and starting a new business and trying to race cars. It's been fun.
So tell us about your new business.
I do auto glass, so we change windshields, pretty much any glass in your vehicle. And yeah, we go mobile, so that's what we do. Your hole's my goal.
Good deal. There's an FJ Cruiser over there I got to talk to you about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm your guy.
It's got a big long crack in it. So you had you talked about you had health issues earlier in the summer, and then you came out. I'm trying to remember about 3 or 4 weeks afterwards, and you took an amazing win.
Yeah, it was cool. Just went in for kidney stones and ended up finding a tumor on my liver, and it ended up being benign, thank God. And once we got word that we were good, I wanted to go racing. That's all I've ever known. And yeah, we came out, and Danny's been helping me out, and the car was on rails. And yeah, man, I just put my foot in it, and everything worked out, and we had a good race and ended up winning it. And yeah, it was fun. I work hard at this, so it's where we want to be, and I'm just learning every time out, and hopefully we keep it up.
What's your racing history? What have you done in the past?
I'm a dirt bike kid. I just rode dirt bikes my whole life, so ended up breaking my back on a dirt bike, and that's how I originally got one of these. Not probably the safest and brightest idea, but yeah, I've always raced, and it looked fun, and one of my close buddies was doing this, so started searching, grabbed a car, and got some of my coolest friends out of this a year into it, and it's a great community, and I'm having a blast.
Is it what you thought it was going to be?
Do you know, it's pretty much the raddest thing I've ever done. You're 3 wide in a corner pulling tear-off, slinging dirt. I don't know, to me it doesn't get much better. So yeah, it's awesome. I'm sold on it, and I'll be here for the long haul. I want to keep going.
The power to weight ratio on these things is really fun.
Yeah, it's weird because we have kind of a motorcycle motor in it, you know. So that was kind of everything I was familiar with, and yeah, these things rip. They're super dangerous, and they're twitchy, and man, well, they're cool though when they're hooked up and everything's right, and yeah, it's a fun feeling.
So what's been the hardest part for you, switching from the 2-wheel to the 4-wheel?
Well, with dirt bikes you could practice, so you could really spend a lot of time. With this, you get your hot laps, and it's all in. So the learning curve was a little tricky. Other than that, though, it's been pretty similar, you know. Racing's racing, and yeah, just keep learning and keep trying to get better.
All right, you gonna stick with this car for next year? Or you going getting something else?
Man, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I keep changing my mind every 2 days. I want to do it. I don't want to do it, and then we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Some guys are trying to get me, but I'm trying to stick with this one for maybe 1 more year.
So what's your plan? This is a different style than like the regional or the national 2-day shows. This one's got a different flair to it. So what's your plan going in for this one?
Yeah, you know, this is my first time at this rundown, so just trying to stay consistent and be at the right place at the right time. Try to be aggressive when it's there, and trying to squeak in there and get in the show. All
right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Sean. Good
All
to
right.
see you. Who helps you get on the racetrack?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank my shop, Alpha Auto Glass. They're my biggest sponsor, my own checkbook.
Yeah.
But Wagner Racing, man, Danny's absolutely, totally took me under his wing and helped me out. My racing's gone completely 180 since he started helping me out. Frank and Spanky at M&M have been totally helping me out too. Just everybody, man, it's a real cool community, and you know, as much as we all want to beat each other, everybody still helps each other out, so it's pretty cool.
All right, good luck this weekend.
All right, man, thanks.
Sean Katucci, driver of the 43 Delta Dwarf car. Let's slide over here. Being his name keeps coming up, and he hates being on camera. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. You like get yourself in a whole lot of trouble just because of all the different race cars you get into, not only as a driver, but you help a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's busy for sure. A lot of dwarf car stuff primarily, but playing the sprint cars and the modifieds.
So the dwarf cars, you got into those, you've done some other stuff, but the dwarf cars, you're leading the charge locally. You kind of help, you're organizing the Delta Dwarf Car Club and stuff.
Yeah, I was, this is my local track, so I wanted to get the whole Delta Dwarf Car thing started, and this was one of the last tracks to do it. So I seen the opportunity was here, and Chad, the new promoter, wanted to work with me, and here we are.
So how hard is it trying to take care of, I mean, you got 3 cars yourself in your team. You got a couple more that are associated with you, plus I think I saw you post one time you had like 15 cars you're helping right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few that I work on here and there, quite a few that I work on weekly. I just try to get everybody faster and help grow the sport. is pretty much what I'm after, is get everybody faster and keep moving forward.
Then in the middle of all that, you're still trying to do your modified.
Yeah.
How have you done in the modified here lately in the big shows?
It's been pretty good. I've been consistent, mid-pack, towards the front. We ran Speed Week. I haven't ran too much this year just because I'm so busy. But I try to make some of the bigger shows, and ran Speed Week, ran the Bowers Memorial here. We're headed to Vegas in a couple weeks. So I'm trying to get back to it a little bit, but I'm so tied up with the dwarf cars. Hopefully next year I'll get a little more time to get in the modified more.
Then next year, aren't you talking about doing something else too?
Yeah, so we're going to do the 360 sprint car and a spec, a wingless sprint car, and try our hand with that, and then get Ellie in a four-banger and see how that goes.
There you go. Add those race cars in there. I know last year you were running the wing sprint car. Have you run a wingless yet?
I ran a wingless once last year.
Okay.
We only got one race in it, and then this year kind of got all messed up with the whole virus thing. Turned this year upside down, so we didn't play in the sprint car this year, but I'll be back in it next year.
All right, well, good deal. Who do you want to thank for getting you out on the racetrack?
I got to thank a lot of people. Everybody that helps me at home, sponsors, A&J Hauling, Contra Costa Diesel, Dahlgreen Motorsports, Dutra Racing Shocks, Nick DiCarlo Racing Products. There's a whole bunch of people that go into it with this many cars and this many people. It takes a lot of people to get us all here.
One other question I guess I want to ask, being the Delta Dwarf Car Club, the regional, what about the national? You're planning a national for next year, right?
Yeah, we're planning on having a Western States National. We tried our hand with the regional, which was very successful, went well. So we wanted to try the regional this year, and then next year we are scheduled to have a national here.
Do you know when?
About mid-July.
Mid-July, okay.
Yeah.
So about the same time as last year.
About the same time as last year, but this year it'll be a national.
And we're looking to make that even bigger and better.
Yeah, we're hoping to have 80, 100 cars.
All right, so I'll ask you the same question I've asked the last two folks. Different format for you guys for a 2-day show this year. You did the Bill Bowers 3 weeks ago, so you have experience with the points and the passing points and all that, the 2 heat races and stuff. Did you learn anything there that's going to affect how you do this weekend's race?
No, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I've ran quite a few of the shows in the modified. The sprint cars from time to time kind of have a similar format, certain places, but the modifieds do it often. It's the first time we've done it in a dwarf car, which Chad wanted to do something different, so we figured dwarf cars have never really done this format, so here we're going to give it a shot.
All right. Very good. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, good luck.
Thank you.
Scott, he disappeared. Trying to get Scott Dahlgreen here. He saw what was coming up, he ran.
Scott! He's in the trailer, he's coming out.
He's coming out. All right, Scott Dahlgreen, driver of the 21 car. Another one of Danny's cars that they run out of there. Here he comes. Come on out, Scott. Come on over by your car. Scott Dahlgreen, 2019 Dwarf Car Champion here at Antioch, right?
Yes, it was.
And how's your year been going so far?
Really good year. Danny's always given me a good car to drive. Won the Petaluma National and won the Marysville National here just a couple weeks ago, which was the 25th annual, which was car was great, and it's a privilege and an honor to win that particular race, being 25 years and on a national and being the Marysville National. So that was a lot of fun. That's like one of the high points of some 20-some years of racing dwarf cars.
So what's your background in racing? Has it always been dwarf cars, or have you raced other stuff too?
Nope, just dwarf cars. It's what I've started out with, and just love it and like all the people and the competition. The family atmosphere is what keeps me coming back.
The one thing if people may not understand about dwarf cars is these things are full-blown, full-fledged, purpose-built race cars.
Exactly. People don't understand how fast we can go and what kind of setups that we do for different kind of tracks, different gearing. There's a lot goes into it. It's just not something you just hop in and think you're going to go fast. There's a lot to it, and Danny, luckily, he really helps me out. He's one heck of a car builder and a crew chief, because I can talk to him and he'll help me with what I have an issue with or what the car's doing, and it's really helped me out, making me better over the years.
I've been asking everybody about, because this is a different format than what the Dwarf cars normally do on a two-day show. Are you approaching this weekend any different than you would, say, a national or a regional, with the passing points and the 2 heat races on Friday and stuff?
No, not really. Just go out there and do the best you can, and it is what it is, and you're not going to really change anything. You're just going to go out there and run hard and do the best I can and see where we end up.
All right, who do you want to say thanks for getting you on the track?
A big thank you to Danny Wagner for allowing me to drive for him. Ellie for helping Danny with the cleanup. Most of the time, Danny tells me we're going to be here. This is where I show up, and I just really appreciate him. AJ Hauling for sponsorship, Contra Costa Diesel, and all the people behind the scenes that I just can't think of right now, but everybody's appreciative of everything that's put into the amount of cars that Danny takes care of to make these races, and every one of them is competitive.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
That was some of the pit walk during the Antioch Speedway TV pre-race show. With that, we are going to switch gears, and it is time for the national anthem. Please rise. Gentlemen, take off your hats. If you're a member of the military or former member of the military, thank you for your service to our country. If you're a first responder, thank you for your service to your community. With that, going to break out the 82nd Airborne Division All-American Chorus for tonight's rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
82nd Airborne Division All-American Chorus for tonight's rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Getting the cars lined up, we got 2 B mains coming up, 14 laps each, top 8 transfer to the A feature for tonight. Got 13 cars in the first heat race, 12 cars in the second heat race. Or B main, excuse me. Don't forget, keep an eye on our website at www.antiochspeedway.com, www.antiochspeedway.com. The Facebook page for Antioch Speedway, there's 2 of them. The first one is Antioch Speedway by Promotions. Antioch Speedway by Promotions, that's the main Facebook page. The secondary Facebook page is antiochspeedway.tv on Facebook, antiochspeedway.tv. Also, keep an eye on my Facebook and YouTube accounts at Antioch Speedway Announcer, Antioch Speedway Announcer on YouTube and Facebook. The Wiley's Race Report comes out on typically Wednesday nights. at about 7 o'clock Pacific time. After it comes out on YouTube, it does roll, on YouTube, it does roll over to the Facebook pages. So keep an eye out for Wiley's Race Report weekly during the racing season. We do have a 2-week break after next weekend's race. We're going to take the first 2 weekends off in November before we return to racing action for 2 more weeks, 3 race evenings. If you haven't taken a look, keep an eye on our website. When you click on the schedule results page, it'll take you to My Race Pass. If you haven't signed up for My Race Pass, it is a free app. It's My Race Pass. Free app. You can spend a little bit of money if you want a few more bells and whistles on it, but it is overall free. You can get the lineups, the entrance for the races are on there. All kinds of good information. When we get our scoring loop in, hopefully for next year, then we'll have live timing and scoring on there as well. That again is My Race Pass. You can also check it out. There's a website at myracepass.com as well. But on your phone, again, you can check out all the entrance, the lineups, the finishing orders, the results, and all that good stuff for My Race Pass. Give it the starting lineup for B feature number 1. Again, 14 laps. Top 8 transfer to the A main. Out of Medford, Oregon. Starting on the points for B feature number 1, the 25S of Cameron Robicelli. Outside the front row, the 63N, that's Buddy Olshaka. Out of Tracy, California, if he's able to get that car fixed after the incident in the last heat race. Row 2, the 14E of Tommy Velasquez out of Camarillo, California. On the inside in the 14E and the 85 Double D, that's Jack Haverty to the outside in that 4th starting spot. The 5th spot, it is Chance Russell out of Antioch, California, and outside of him in the 6th spot, the 00 of Mike Casaro out of Tracy, California. 7th, inside row 4, the 14DN of Tim Fitzpatrick out of Virginia City, Nevada. And outside of him, Roberto Monroy out of Antioch, California in the 7XL. Row number 5 on the inside, the 6S, that's Darren Davis, and the outside, John Tardif in the 38 Double D. Row 6 on the inside, the 96B, that's Nick Squadrito. And the 20N to his outside, Joe LeDuc. The back of the pack for heat B main number 1, Justin Bingham out of Hollister, California in that 12 car. As your starting lineup for B feature number 1, Squadrito in that 11th starting spot. He won heat race 4A in this race. Give him the 1 to go signal. We're going racing. Lights out, going green flag race the next time by. 14 laps, top 8 transfer to the A feature tonight. Roberto Monroy not able to get his car fixed after that incident in the last heat race. He's not out here. Just found out top 6 are transferring, not top 8, so it has been changed. So top 6 transferring. Green flag in the air. Buddy Olshaka crosses over. After Cameron Robicelli gets out into turn number 1 first, but Buddy Olshaka in that 63N gets the lead. Leads lap number 1. Cameron Robicelli in that 25 car there in the 2nd spot. But here comes T3 of Tommy Velasquez. He's up to the 3rd. 1 car getting slideways off turn number 4. That's the A12 of Chance Russell. Gabs it back up. Meanwhile, back up front. Side-by-side battle for that 2nd spot. Down into turn number 3. T3. Velasquez on the inside. Olshaka on the high side. Olshaka has a trouble in the middle of 3 and 4. Slides up the hill. 1 car almost into the fence off turn number 4. Raised a lot of dirt. Didn't see what happened there. Back up front. It is a 25S of Cameron Robiselli on the point. Second is Tommy Velasquez. Third, it's Nick Squadrito. Fourth, Buddy Olshaka. Fifth is, let's see, coming up off that Jack Haverty. Sixth is Chance Russell, the last transfer spot. He's getting pressure from that 14 DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. One car spins around. Turn number 4, yellow flag is out. I do believe that is the 20N of Joe LeDuc. Get the lineup set. We are 5 laps in, 9 to go. Cameron Robiselli on the point, that 25S, the 14 car, 14E of Tommy Velasquez, T3, out of Camarillo, California, in the second spot. Got the lineup set. Waiting on the 12 of Justin Bingham. Not sure if he made it off through the pit exit. So right now we got the 25S on the point. That's Cameron Robiselli on the point. The 14E of Tommy Velasquez in the second spot. The 96B of Nick Squadrito. Wonder if he raced 4A in that third spot. Fourth is Buddy Olshaka in the 63 car, 63N. Fifth, it is the 85, that's Jack Haverty. Sixth is going to be the A12 of Chance Russell. Seventh is the 14DS or DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. Eighth is the 6S is Darren Davis out of Atascadero, California. Who is outside is Mike Casaro out of Tracy, California. The 38 double D of John Tardif is next. Then at the back of the pack, it's the 20D of Joe LeDuc. Lights out, going green flag racing. Cameron Robiselli out of Medford, Oregon on the point. I'm going to say he gets the long toe award for tonight. Followed by, I'm not sure if a couple others from down south might be just as far as Virginia City. Green flag back in the air. Robiselli coming up off turn number 2, but look to the outside. The 96 car of Squadrito. They get together, touch wheels. They straighten it out, keep on going, but here comes Tommy Velasquez down on the inside of Squadrito. Side by side off turn number 2, down the back straightaway into turn 3. That battle for second. Side by side off for turn number 4, but the high side pays off for Squadrito that time. He gets out in front. Now he looks underneath. The Robiselli car coming up off turn number 2, but Robiselli has a good run off the high side of turn number 2. Now the 96 spins to the inside. Squadrito into the infield. He is now the final transfer car after running second back in 6th. But here comes Mike Casaro, who is inside. Battle for that last transfer spot. Squadrelli on the high side, Casaro on the low side. Squadrelli's going to lose that to Mike Cusaro, past champion here at Antioch Speedway in that 0-0 car. Squadrito fights back on the inside. That is a battle for the final transfer spot for tonight's main event. Cusaro has it at the line, 4 to go. As Camden Robustelli now out in front by about 10 car lengths over Tommy Velasquez. Up off turn number 4 at the line, 16.06 seconds, 84.060 miles an hour that time for Robustelli into 25Fs. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Coming up off 2 to go this time by. Robustelli pushing up the hill just a little bit. That car not held quite as well in the center of the turn. He kind of loses a bunch of speed right there, right in the dead center of the turn on both ends of the racetrack. White flag in the air. Robustelli on the points. Velasquez second, Haggerty third, fourth is Fitzpatrick. Fifth is Squadrito at the line. 25 car takes the win. Velasquez second, Haggerty in the third spot. Fourth is Velasquez. I'm sorry, is the 14 of Tim Fitzpatrick. And fifth will be the 96 of Squadrito. I'm going to head down for Victory Lane.
Heading down for winter circuit interview real quick. Camden Robustelli, congratulations, good run.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good track. I really like it. This is my first time here. Lots of grip and got to get the car free enough to get through the center. We're a little too tight right now, but overall good.
Any issues out there trying to get around in slower traffic, or once you got on the point, you just kind of checked out?
Luckily, I didn't get into slower traffic. That caution came out right when I was coming up on that pink car, but luckily I didn't have to try to pass anybody in that race. It was good just to be out there in clean air and just keep my car in one piece and ready for the A-main. Any changes you got to make for the A-main? We got to fix the center of the corner. It's pushing like a dump truck right now, and got to get it to rotate a little bit more, and I think we got something for him.
All right, good luck in the A-main. Camden Robustelli, winner of tonight's B-main number 1. All right, starting line off for B-main number 2. On the point out of Brentwood, California, in the 43 car, it's Sean the Kid Catucci outside the front row of the 31N. That's Dylan Schrum out of Lincoln, California. Row 2, Eric Weissler out of Campbell, California, in 64B. Outside, Travis Day out of Concord, California, 88D. In row 3, the 76 of Roger Shores out of Cameron Park, California. 2 is outside the 4DD of Chris Becker out of Alameda, California. Row 4 on the inside, the 31DD of Ellie Russo out of Bay Point, California, and Dennis Gilcrease to her outside in the 22DD. Row 5, the 68 of Dynamite Dave Rosa out of Antioch, California, and Santa Rosa's Randy Miramontes in the 81R to his outside. The sixth and final row, the 088R of Antonio Miramontes out of Santa Rosa, inside and outside the 4N. That's Ryan Winter out of Gulch, California. Look for that car to get out front and battle for the win. He is always fast around this place. B-Main number 2 coming up.
One to go signal. It's a starter stand. We're going green flag racing next time by. The kid, Sean Catucci, on the point. Won a main event back in midsummer. After some health issues, a very emotional win, I think I could say. Looking to take home another win here this weekend. Green flag in the air. Dylan Strum works his way up to the point. Sean Catucci falls in line in second. Travis Day in that third spot right now in the 88 Double D. One car spins in turn number 3. I believe that is the 88R of Antonio Miramontes. Top 6 transfer. Leaders going into turn number 3. Sean Catucci looks to the inside of Dylan Strum. Trying to make a move, nothing there. Gets down to turn number 1. Dives inside, had a car. Saw her car down on the inside, had to get out of it just a little bit early. Now he's getting pressure from behind by, as I mentioned earlier, Ryan Winters. Already 4 laps in. He's already up front battling for the lead. Gets around Sean Catucci. Ryan Winters. Winner here earlier this year. At the line, he's still in second, but he drives down underneath Dylan Strum. Picks up the lead going through turns 1 and 2. Put Ryan Winters in that 4N car on the point. Down into turn number 3 he goes. Sean Catucci still in the third spot. I'll get a speed on Ryan Winters next time by. This car is fast right now. It's a fast racetrack. Winters coming up off turn number 4 has a slight push in the center of the turn. Crosses the line. 1577 on the stopwatch. 85.606 miles an hour coming up on Chris Becker to put him a lap down. One car. Dynamite Dave Rosa went up in smoke during his heat race and has gone up in smoke again. Hopefully again, there was some discussion. It may have been just a radiator hose or something the first time he got back out here, but now something has come loose again and has released the smoke from the inside of that engine. Last lap, 1577 on the stopwatch, 85.606 miles an hour. So the 31 car, Dylan Strum gets to choose. Dylan Strum won the, the Sportsman Dwarf car feature back at the regional event back on July 18th. The veteran, Kevin Bender, took home the main event win out of Rockland. He's not here tonight. And in the Pro Division, Sean Jones in the 80N took home the win. with Ryan Winter, I was talking about earlier. He finished third. That was a three-way battle between Sean Jones, Danny Wagner, and Ryan Winter through most of that main event for the pros. That was a heck of a battle, with Sean Jones ultimately taking the win. Not sure if he's going to be coming tomorrow or not. I know there's a few cars that are supposed to show up tomorrow. Lights out, going green flag racing. Ryan Winter's on the point. Sean Catucci inside of row number 2, but he is technically not second right now. Second is Dylan Schrum on that high side. He chooses the high side. Row 3 is Travis Day on the inside. And the 64 car of Eric Wessler outside. Green flag in the air. 2 cars get together. 3 cars get together. One of them's at 31N. Dylan Schrum did not get up to speed. Eric Wessler. Eric Wessler just got right into the back of the Dylan Schrum car after the Schrum did not go with the rest of the field. Something happened. He just suddenly stopped or didn't go right. And the red car got nowhere to go. Well, a flat left rear tire. Working on getting the lineup set. Lineup is set. To give you the running order right now, the 4N of Ryan Winters on the point. Sean Catucci at second. Travis Day third. Ellie Russo in the 4th spot. 5th is Dennis Gilcrease. 6th is the 81R of Rocky Miramontes. 7th I believe is going to be the Antonio Miramontes. Then we have the 64 car of Eric Wessler and Chris Becker back there at the back. 1 to go signal. At the line and go back to green flag racing. 7 laps remain. We're halfway done. 7 down, 7 to go. Coming around the green flag this time by. 7 down, 7 to go. Top 6 transfer. Ryan Winter. After starting at the back of the pack, he is our leader. Down to turn number 3. 2 cars get together. Once again, the 64 Eric Wessler had nowhere to go after the Dennis Gilcrease car gets sideways in turn number 4. They slam together. 31N of Dylan Schrum back out. Ryan Winters, we stand to the green, but those 2 cars hit, and in fact, 22 of Dennis Gilcrease pulls to the infield. The 64 car just can't everybody seems to wreck in front of him here in this race. At the point, it is Ryan Winters coming up off turn number 2 now. In that 4N, the blue and white car, down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, he's got some slower cars in front of him. Sean the Kid Catucci in the 2nd spot in that 43 car. In the 3rd spot, it's the 88 Double D of Travis Day. Ellie Russo in that 4th spot in a transfer spot. 5th is Rocky Miramontes in the 81R, and 6th, somehow, the 64 Eric Wessler is still in the running for a transfer spot with 2 laps to go. Winter down to turn number 3. He's coming around for the white flag. Chris Becker getting slideways right in front of him. Winters, white flag one more time around. Winters gets sideways. Almost into the fence at turn number 1. nowhere to go. Gadza back up, checkered flag coming out. Winner still going to take home the win. Sean Catucci will get second. Travis Day will get the third spot. Fourth will be Ellie Russo. And fifth will be Rocky Miramontes. And our final transfer spot, I believe, is a 64 of Wessler. I'm going to head down for victory lane.
B-main number 2 in the books. Ryan Winter, driver of the 4N, taking home the win. Unbuckling, getting the helmet off. Ryan, you started out back, and it took you about 2.5 laps to get up to the front. Nice run.
Yeah, heat 1 started in the back and got up to second. The car was a little loose, so wanted to make some adjustments. Then we went out for heat 2, and I lost complete power of everything. Frank, Spanky, Bobby, Shrum family, everyone, Scott hopped in, helped troubleshoot it. We fought it. I didn't think I was going to make the main, and then we found there was a dead cell in the battery, so barely got out here and just trying to run smooth, and the car feels really good, and I'm happy I'm in the A main.
How's the track out there for you?
Oh, the track's really good. It's getting to be about 2-3 grooves. You could really go anywhere. The bottom's good, the middle's good. I thought the tippy top was coming in, and I almost lost on the white flag, but I know not to do that in the A now.
I was going to say, you about took down the turn 1 wall there with under the white flag.
Well, if I did, I was going to make a show of it at least.
All right, so what do you got to make changes to the car for the main event?
Just the driver. Drive a little better and try to get top 6. Tonight's top 6 is a win tonight. The guys that are starting up front are going to be really hard to pass, especially coming from the back, so I just need to keep my nose clean and try to make my way up to the top 6. If I get up there and race with those guys, I'll give it all hell, but I think the car is pretty good. Just tighten up a little snudge and we'll be good to go.
All right, Ryan Winters, driver of the 4N, winner of B-Main number 2. Good luck tonight, and that's going to do it for our B-Mains. And up next, we're going main event racing for the night.
All right, we got a few minutes before we're ready for the main event. Give those drivers that just finished up time to work on their cars. Get the main event lineup set. With that, let's return to the Antioch Speedway TV pre-race show.
And let's swing this thing around here. I saw Butch over here somewhere. Let's see. Mr. Casaro, if I can find him. Kevin's over here. Got a lot of Dwarf cars here this weekend. Should be getting more as we keep going on. So, not seeing. No, I thought I was going. Okay, so you see Devin Cameron's car. So who's driving? Because Devin's not. All right.
I just don't have my mouth clear yet.
Oh, you got the pizza? Oh, man. There we go.
I don't want to get in trouble on TV from Mark. His sponsor is not in that package.
Uh-oh. Here. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, so I did get a message from Devin's dad earlier today that someone else was driving the car. So, first of all, introduce yourself.
Mark Hansen. I'm from Occidental, California.
And how'd you end up in this car? What happened? Where's Devin at? Start there.
I believe Devin broke his wrist a couple weeks ago at Marysville. His dad went to Petaluma 2 weeks ago and was hanging out, saw me driving another car, and been friends with him for about 4 years now, and said he needed a driver for this weekend here.
So you're on?
Yeah, I'm here.
So you got a good car.
Great car.
Came out for a 2-day show.
2-day show.
What's your plan for the weekend?
Keep the car clean tonight on a 2-day show. As important as it is to lock it in on the first day, I believe we're taking 6 tonight. But keeping your car in one piece for Saturday is definitely important, especially driving for somebody else. It's not my own equipment. Definitely want to keep it clean and try and lock it in the top 6.
How much do the passing points play a part in how you're going to approach things tonight?
I've never ran a passing points format before. I'm hoping I pull somewhere in the middle for a pill draw, try and go forward in both of them. I think if you start the middle of each heat race, you have a good chance at getting good finishing points on top of your passing points and put you in a good position to lock it in the A-main.
How much different is this car compared to the car you normally drive?
It's a lot more yellow. It's completely different. The chassis I have is a DNR, and this is a BCH. I've ran a lot of cars similar to this. Most of this year I've spent in a car similar to this, so it should feel just like I'm at home. I went down last weekend and got fitted into the car and made it as comfortable as we can for this weekend.
Have you run here at Antioch before?
Yeah, can we not talk about that? Yeah, and in past years we have not had great luck at this track.
So have you run here did you make the regional?
I have not. No, unfortunately we've had a couple motors expire on us this year, and a lot of family stuff going on, and we haven't been able to race nearly as much as we like to. And no, since it has changed leadership, I have not been here. But
you haven't been here under the new track layout then?
No, I have not. I have watched video and tried to get an idea of what's going on. It seems to have changed the driving style here a lot, but I'm looking forward to it. I run most of the Western State Nationals, so we have to learn to adapt to new tracks pretty often, and I'm excited.
All right, so who do you want to say thanks for getting you on the track this weekend?
I'd like to thank Mark and Devin for allowing me to jump in their ride. It takes a lot of confidence in somebody for you to offer your ride to somebody, and I'm thankful that he reached out to me and asked for me to come drive this weekend.
All right, well, good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, as we continue on, is Kevin over here? Is Kevin hiding in here? He's that way. I think they're getting ready for the drivers' meeting. Let's head on over. Dynamite Dave Rosa. Messing with his car. I'll leave him alone at the moment. He's trying to...
I'm all right.
You're all right? All right, I'll come around this side so the sun's not in. So, your car looks like you're doing some work on it, getting ready to go racing. You got something wrong with the right front?
No, I'm just doing some adjustments that I haven't done. I had to put a motor in it, and I've been waiting on it. Finally got it, and we'll see,
This is, so if anybody wants to see real quick, give you an idea what's under the skin on these things. It's been an interesting year for you guys this year.
Yeah, kid lost the motor, so I took my coupe apart, and I gave him the motor, and I bought a car to drive, and then like a week later, I lost a motor in it. So I'm like, well, not defeating the purpose here. So we'll see what happens. I hope to build a new car for me next year.
Oh, there you go. A new car.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Kid's got a new car I built for him, so
Yep.
now it's my turn. We'll see.
All right, so what's your plan for the weekend with this passing points and all the differences?
Well, you know, this car, I bought it, and it's really loose. It's hard to drive, so I've done a bunch of changes. Hopefully it'll work for the best, and maybe I can win it. Who knows?
All right, so who do you want to say thanks for helping you get on the racetrack?
Livermore Ford.
All right.
Paychecks work.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotta have a paycheck to make them go.
That's right.
So, yeah.
All right, Dynamite Dave Rosa.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend. All right, David Michael Rosa.
How's it going?
The Purple Machine.
Yep.
So, first of all, are you getting any sleep with the new baby?
Yeah, starting to.
Starting to?
Starting to get him on a schedule and, yeah, getting it down.
How's mom and son doing?
Great. They're great.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's definitely a, learning experience. First-time parents and all that good stuff. He's fairly good throughout the night now.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. When he wakes up once or twice, to feed him and goes back to sleep.
All right, so you're out here playing this weekend. You got your nice car here.
Yep.
What's your plan for the weekend in this? Passing points and all the fun stuff you get to do this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't really had a setup like this since I was in karts. So it was interesting to see how everything this weekend was gonna go. But I'm looking forward to it. I finally got that. I came out a couple weeks ago and tested the car and wasn't overheating that anymore. So
What'd you end up finding with that?
It just had a lot of air in the system.
Okay.
And the water wasn't flowing. So we finally got all that figured out. We used a vacuum bleeder and sucked all the air out. It feels fast, so we're hoping the track, holds up tonight and stays kind of tacky.
What is it like running about dwarf cars?
It just reminds me of the karts I used to race. I mean, they're low to the ground. The weight to power ratio is insane in these little cars. They're a little bit faster than the modifieds as far as lap times go. I don't know, they're just a blast to drive. They're a handful, which I don't know.
You got to work for it.
I think that's why I like it so much, is because it's challenging to drive. I would like to hop back on a modified, but it's a lot of money for a modified, and these things kind of more of my budget-friendly thing to do.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Good luck. Who do you want to say thanks for helping you get on the racetrack?
11 Mag Body Art. My wife for letting me come out and do this while she's watching the baby. My dad for all the stuff he's done throughout the years and getting me out here to do this.
David Michael Rosa, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, beautiful day. Roberto Monroy, Chris Becker and I on our way. 10 minutes. All right, cool. James Thompson. Where we get a dwarf car? Oh, there you go. James is going to go dwarf car racing instead. He told me what he's going to do. After he wouldn't tell me what he was going to do, he can't make up his mind. So anyway, we're getting set. Drivers meeting coming up here shortly. Don't forget to sign up on AntiochSpeedway.tv for all the racing action this weekend. AntiochSpeedway.tv. See it all live and direct from Antioch. And it's going to be a lot of fun. These dwarf cars put on a great show each and every time they're out on the racetrack here at Antioch Speedway, and this new layout is a lot of fun to get them out there, get 3 and 4 wide racing, and really look forward to having all of these races and the cars out here. So make sure you tune in to AntiochSpeedway.tv. I want to say thanks for everybody tuning in to the pre-race show. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I'll promise I'll do better, getting closer to 3:30 somewhere in there. And Berto, Chris Becker, see you here shortly. Who else we got on there real quick? Jimmy Dameron. Hello, Kevin Auer. Thank you very much for tuning in. And thank you all for tuning in to the Antioch Speedway pre-race show. Coming up at around 5:30, 5:45 or so, we will go live on AntiochSpeedway.tv. Don't miss all the action. It's going to be a great night of racing, great weekend of racing, live and direct from Antioch Speedway. Don't forget, Antioch Speedway by Promotions Facebook, what you're watching right now, but we also have AntiochSpeedway.tv Facebook page, Antioch Speedway Announcer on Facebook and on YouTube. That's where on Wednesday nights I release the Wiley's Race Report. It may be delayed a day this week, depends. There is an open practice. If you have a race car and you want to come out on Wednesday. Open practice on Wednesday night from 5 to 9 p.m. here at Antioch Speedway. I'll be out here with my 4-banger, and there'll be a lot of cars out here. That's on Wednesday night, the 28th of October, from here at Antioch Speedway. And Joe Peterson he's got a new podcast. We'll let him announce it coming up here when he gets here and we get going live, and we'll talk about that later. So I'm Wiley Wade until we go live on AntiochSpeedway.tv. Goodbye, everybody.
Wednesday night. Happy birthday, Wednesday night. That was the rest of the audio. If you want to see the video, you can check it out on Antioch Speedway by Promotions from the pre-race show coming up tomorrow at 3:30-ish, somewhere in that time frame. We will go live again with another pre-race show prior to events starting. Hopefully Joe will be here tomorrow night, and he can do his portion of it as well. I do a pit walk as I walk around for my portion of the pre-race show, and then Joe Peterson, my broadcast partner, gets over and invites drivers and folks over to the Antioch Speedway TV picnic table that we have out there. And he does a sit-down interview with some folks and have a lot of fun with that as well. And as I mentioned there in the video you heard, he has a podcast that's going to be starting with a couple other folks. That's all I want to say. I know it's out there, but I won't want to spoil it here. I will let him announce officially when he comes back tomorrow. So Joe Peterson and some other folks doing a podcast, so keep an eye out for that. With that, we're getting set for the main event. It is going to be a 30-lap main event. We got 24 cars getting set to start for the top 6 positions, transferring to the main event tomorrow night. Everyone else is going to have to work through the heats and B-mains tomorrow night to get to the big show. Top 6 tonight will get to go directly there. Make it much easier for them. That's the way you want to do it up front. Darren Brown out of El Cajon, California, in the 11 car is going to start on the point. That car has been fast tonight. That is for absolutely sure. Mark Hansen out of Occidental, California, in the 18 Double D. Devin Cameron's normal ride. He's starting outside the front row. Spanky, that's Mike Grennert out of Fairfield, California. He's starting inside row number 2 in that 12N. And to his outside, it'll be Kevin Moralio. He's out of Pleasanton, California, in the 40 car. In the 5th starting spot, it is David Michael Rosa out of Antioch, California. Danny Wagner, Captain Chaos, out of Bay Point, California, in the 11 Double D will start to his outside in that outside row 3. Inside row 4, the 92N, that's Brandon Wiley out of Santa Maria, California. And to his outside, the 99N of Gage Myers out of Placerville, California. Corey Eaton out of Placerville, California, in the 29N will start in the 9th spot. 10th will be the 21 Double D of Scott Dahlgreen out of Balico, California. Then the 11th starting spot will be Mark Briscardi out of San Jose in the 66B. And to his outside, Nick Velasquez out of Camarillo, California, in the 41E. 13th will be Camden Robicelli out of Medford, Oregon, winner of the B-Main, one of the B-Main number 1 tonight. To his outside, Ryan Winter out of Galt, California, winner of B-Main number 2 tonight in that 14th starting spot. 15th, Tommy Velasquez out of Camarillo in the 14E, and Sean Catucci out of Brentwood in the 43, starting 16th. 17th will be Jack Haverty out of in the 85 Double D. In the inside of row 9, outside of him will be Travis Day out of Concord, California, in the 88 Double D. 19th will be the 14 DN. That's Tim Fitzpatrick out of Virginia City, Nevada. And to his outside, Ellie Russo out of Bay Point in the 31 Double D. The 11th row, it's the 96B of Nick Squadrito. And the 81R, Moose Miramontes out of Santa Rosa, California. And the last row, the 63N of Bunny El Shaka out of Tracy, California. And Eric Wessler out of Campbell, California, in the 64B, who had multiple cars crash in front of him in B-Main number 2, and he got tangled up with him and still managed a top 6 finishing position in that B-Main to transfer to tonight's main event. Again, it's a 30-lap main event. We're going to transfer the top 30 directly to tomorrow night's main event. If you don't have your app downloaded for My Race Pass, make sure you head on over and download it from whatever store you have. My Race Pass gives you all the entrants, the classes, the schedules, the results for all of stuff at Antioch Speedway. When we get live timing and scoring, that'll be up there as well. It's a very nice app. It is a free app, and you can, of course, spend a little bit of money if you want to get some of the bells and whistles that go along with it, but the free part works out just fine. A-Main lining up in the staging area. Getting the lineup set back there. Thanks again for tuning in to AntiochSpeedway.tv for Antioch Speedway TV, a new venture for us here at Antioch Speedway. Continuing to build this program, getting more equipment. We're working towards being able to do replays and play back the videos that you've heard the audio for the last few weeks at Wiley's Race Report. Be able to play that and see the video as we keep building bigger and better. We do appreciate your support, and I hope you keep supporting us here at Antioch Speedway TV. Sounds like we got the lineup set back there. We're going to roll them off, bring them out. Darren Brown on the point out of El Cajon, California in the 11 car. He won heat races 1A and 1B. Out to his outside, Mark Hansen. The 18 Double D, he won 5A and 5B. Those are your top 2-point getters. Michael Grenner, the Spanky in the 12N car. Out of Fairfield is starting third. Fourth, Kevin Rallio in the 40 car. He took home heat B2. David Michael Rosa in the 5th starting spot, the 2 Double D. He won heat race 3B. To his outside, Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, out of Bay Point, California. Row 4, Brandon Wiley, out of Santa Maria in the 92N, winner of heat race 3A. And Gage Myers to his outside. Out of Placerville, California. The 5th row, Corey Eaton in the 29N. Corey out of Placerville, California, to his outside, the 21 Double D, Scott Dahlgreen, 2019 Dwarf Car champion here at Antioch Speedway. Won a couple of national events here this year. One at Marysville and one down in Ocean Speedway. The 6th row is the 66B of Mark Briscardi out of San Jose and the 41E of Nick Velasquez out of Camarillo, California. The 66B of Mark Briscardi won heat race 2B. 7th row, the 25S out of Medford, Oregon. And Ryan Winters to his outside out of Galt. Those 2 cars won the B mains. Behind them in the 8th row, Tommy Velasquez out of Camarillo in the 14E, and Sean the Kid Catucci out of Brentwood. Row 9, the 85 Double D of Jack Haverty, and the 88 Double D of Travis Day. Row 10, 14 DN, that's Tim Fitzpatrick out of Virginia City, Nevada. Ellie Russo out of Bay Point, California in a 31 Double D. Row 11, the 96B of Nick Squadrito, and the 81R of Randy Miramontes out of Santa Rosa, California. And the last row, the 63N, Bunny Olshaka out of Tracy, California, and Eric Wessler out of Campbell, California in the 64B. It's your starting lineup for tonight's main event for the Delta Dwarf Car. Dwarf Car Mania here at Antioch Speedway. 1 to go, signal at the line. 99N of Gage Myers just left the racetrack. He's heading back. We're going to give him a lap or two to see if he comes back out. It's been a beautiful night for racing here at Antioch Speedway. Thanks for tuning in on Antioch Speedway TV. I want to say thanks to Fabulous Bob down on the flag stand. Rich over here. Race director, Andrea, the scoreboard. E, the scoreboard. Andrea, the scorer. All our officials down on the infield. And back in the pit area. All the DNF crew that are here tonight. And thank you for tuning in to Antioch Speedway TV. Lights going out. We're going racing this time by the 11 car of Darren Brown on the point. With Mark Hansen on the outside of the front row. Who's going to lead into turn number one? Lots of times on the high side is the place to be here at Antioch Speedway. This time, it's going to work out for that 11 car down to turn number one. Darren Brown. One car spins. He saves it to 29N of Corey Eaton, but he loses a bunch of spots. We stay under the green flag. Meanwhile, Spanky, Michael Grunner, gets up into that second spot. Here comes Kevin Moralio. He's passing the 18 double D of Hansen. Hansen back to the fourth spot. David Michael Rosa in the fifth spot, but up on the point, it's a Darren Brown car, that 11. Spanky second. Moralio third. Hansen in the fourth spot. Fifth is now Captain Chaos Danny Wagner in the 11N. Then Ryan Winter up to the sixth spot already. That car fast once again, sixth. Seventh is David Michael Rosa. Eighth is Scott Dahlgreen. But here comes Nick Velasquez on the outside. He takes the eighth, puts Dahlgreen back in the ninth spot. Meanwhile, up front, the 11 car all by himself. Continue our rundown in the 12th spot. It is Sean the Kid Catucci. Then we go back. One car spins around at turn number one. It is the 66B of Mark Briscardi. He gets it going again. We stand to the green flag. Your top 10, we're 5 down, 25 to go. One car, two cars, three cars having a problem up at turn number 4. Jack Haverty's involved. I believe Corey Eaton may have been involved in that. 85, Jack Haverty rolls off. I believe that's Buddy Olshaka sitting sideways down there. '63, Buddy Olshaka. Sounded like Olshaka is the one that started that. He spun first. Haverty, the 85 car, got involved. They rolled away. And I know the 29 car of Corey Eaton, I'm pretty sure I saw him at least cut through the infield to avoid that situation over there. The 1566 on the stopwatch last time by 86.207 miles an hour. The racetrack is still getting faster. Beautiful racetrack here tonight once again. Had some water issues here. Their track lost water. Actually, the whole fairgrounds lost water. They actually had to send the water trucks over to the city of Antioch to pick up and put the last couple loads of water on here tonight after we had no water for quite a while today. Lineup is set. So our leader is Darren Brown. He started on the point. Second is Spanky, Michael Grennert. In that 12 car, he chooses the low side in this Texas-style restart. He puts Kevin Moralio on the high side in that 40 car in the third spot. Fourth is Ryan Winters. Fifth, Captain Chaos Danny Wagner. Sixth is Mark Hansen. Seventh, David Michael Rosa. Eighth, Scott Dahlgreen. Ninth is Nick Velasquez. 10th is going to be Sean Catucci. 11th is the to be the 92 car. Brandon Wiley. 12th is going to be Camden Rubicelli. Green flag back in the air. give Darren Brown that front row to himself, and he's going to check out in a hurry. At least he's going to try to. Spanky tried to dive down into turn number 1 and make up some ground. He slid up the hill in about a 4-wheel drift in the middle of 1 and 2. Lost some ground. And Captain Chaos up to the 3rd spot now. He's right on the rear deck of Spanky. Is 3 wide coming up on turn number 2. Got Danny Wagner on the high side. Got Moralio and Winters in the middle and down below respectively. Turn 4, we got a 4-car pile up over there. I see the 25 of Camden Robicelli involved. We got the 25 was the cause I'm hearing over the radio. Getting the cars to roll away. 2 cars still sitting down there. I think the 96B of Nick Squadrino was involved. '29 car of Eaton was involved down there. He's still sitting down there. And Travis Day in the 88 car is involved. '29 car of Corey Eaton rolls away. Now it's just got to get Travis Day rolling. Last green flag lap was a 15.58 second lap, 86.650 miles an hour. .41 left the racetrack. Nick Velasquez. Seven laps in the books, 23 to go. Our leader, the 11 car of Darren Brown, winner of heat race numbers 1 and 2. Getting Travis Day towed away. Looks like he has some damage on the front end. Have to go on the hook. They are working on the front end of Nick Velasquez out of or at least working on the car out of Camarillo, California. He left the racetrack after the yellow flag came out. Michael Grenner in that 12N car there in the 2nd spot. He chooses the low side. Puts Captain Chaos on the high side. 11 double D. If you're wondering what all the letters mean, they actually stand for the club that the cars belong to. Double D is the Delta Dwarf cars. That would be the cars based out of Antioch Speedway. The N's are the NorCal Dwarf Car Association. E's are out of Ventura, California area. The B's are the Bay Area Dwarf cars out of the South Bay. And the R's do have at least one out of Redwood City Dwarf car. Also like run mainly out of Petaluma. But when we say the letters in this particular class, that's what's going on there. There are clubs associated with those letters. Now if you get in like Roberto Monroy, the XL, that's just a number he likes. He's actually 7XL double D. I believe he is part of the Delta Dwarf cars. The S of 6S out of Darren Davis, I'm not sure if that means anything or if he just likes S. I don't have that information. Going to give him the 1 to go signal. Here's your running order right now as best I can. Darren Brown on the point. Michael Grennert in the 2nd spot in the 12 car. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. 3rd, 4th, it's Kevin Moralio. 5th, Ryan Winters. 6th, Mark Hansen. 7th is David Michael Rosa. 8th is the Brandon Wiley car. 9th that's the 14E of Tommy Velasquez. 10th is Scott Dahlgreen. 11th, Sean Catucci. 12th, the 64 of Eric Wessler. 13th is the 14DN, Tim Fitzpatrick. Then Buddy Olshaka, Mark Biscardi. Green flag in the air. Buddy Olshaka jumping the start. Not sure if he's going to get called on that. No, not sure he saw it. Up front. It is the 11 car. And Darren Brown down in turn number 1. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner has worked his way around Spanky. Picking up the second spot. Sets the sights on that other 11 car. Ryan Winters there in the 4 spot. He's now underneath Spanky as they come up off turn number 4. Battle. 2 cars, 3 cars going through the infield. 1 car going around. Velasquez, Tommy Velasquez. Coming to a stop at turn 4. They keep it going. Along with the 64 car, Wessler once again just cannot get away from these accidents here tonight. They keep wrecking in front of him. Looks like he's got a Macklin on front of that car. Battle for second up off turn number 2. Danny Wagner on the high side. Ryan Winters on the low side. Side by side through 3 and 4. Wagner gets a little bit loose on the high side of 4. Ryan Winters gets a slight advantage, putting Ryan Winters into that second spot. Wagner now battles back on the high side. Gets a good run off turn number 2, down the back stretch into turn number 3. He gets that second spot back. Coming up off turn number 4. Danny Wagner into second spot. Here comes Ryan Winters, though. He battles back on the inside. Our leader, Darren Brown, pulling away. He's got half a straightaway over the second and third place cars. Side by side into turn number 1. Danny Wagner keeps Ryan Winters pinched down just a little bit that time into turn number 1. Keeps him low. As he does in turn number 3, but this time he slides up the hill. Coming up off turn number 4, that opens up the door, putting Ryan Winters into that second spot. Meanwhile, Spanky's sitting back there saying, I'm just going to watch these two until they take each other out. He's hoping anyway. In that 4th spot. Our leader coming up off turn number 4 at the line. 15 laps in, 15 to go. Ryan Winters second, Danny Wagner third, Spanky 4th. Mark Hansen into 5th spot, Kevin Moralio 6th, 7th is Brendan Wiley, 8th is David Michael Rosa, 9th Scott Dahlgreen, 10th Sean Catucci, 11th Tim Fitzpatrick, 12th is the Nick Squadrino car, 13th Cameron Robicelli. 1 car spins around. Robicelli, first of all, with Squadrelli spins. Robicelli comes in, didn't have anywhere to go, and then Biscardi hits him hard. Big contact between the 66 and the 25. There's 1 other car sitting up there. Looks like Buddy Olshaka is the other car up there. But the 96 car of Nick Squadrino went into turn 1 and 2, and he got sideways. That collected Buddy Olshaka and Camden Robicelli, and then along came Mark Biscardi and just slammed hard into that 25 car. Going to take a couple of records to get this cleaned up. Mark Biscardi trying to drive that car away, the 66B car. He had a hard lick into the side of the Robicelli car. Trying to limp that back to the pits. Working on getting these cars separated down there. Thanks again for tuning in to Antioch Speedway TV for another exciting, fun-filled evening of racing live and direct from Antioch, California and Antioch Speedway here at the Contra Costa County Fairgrounds. Got 2 tow trucks down there trying to get these cars separated. So, no one has been able to touch Darren Brown tonight. He has taken home every checkered flag he has the opportunity to take, and right now has been untouchable in the main event. He won heat race 1A and 1B. Still on the point. Then we got Ryan Winters. Buddy Olshaka rolls away from that incident. Ryan Winters in the second spot. Captain Chaos Danny Wagner is third. Spanky Michael Grenner in the fourth spot. Fifth is Mark Hansen. Sixth, Kevin Moralio. Seventh is Brandon Wiley. Eighth is David Michael Rosa in the 2 Double D. Ninth is Scott Dahlgreen. 10th is Sean Catucci in the 43 car. 11th is the 14 DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. 12th is the 81R, that's the Moose, Randy Miramontes. 13th, the 85 Jack Haverty. 14th. 29N is in that position right now, Corey Eaton. And then behind him is Ellie Russo in the 31 Double D in the 15th spot. 16th is the 64B of Eric Wessler. 17th, the 14 of E of Tommy Velasquez, T3. And 18th is now Buddy Olshaka. Getting them doubled up. Again, Texas style restart. Leader gets the row to himself. And second place gets to choose high side or low side. Ryan Winters takes the high side, puts Captain Chaos Danny Wagner down on the low side. Everyone else falls in line, inside, outside as normal. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow where we've got night 2 of Dwarf Car Mania. Dwarf Car Mania night number 2. We're going to be joined by the Vintage Hardtops and the Valley Sportsmen. It'll be a combined race between those two. It's going to be kind of neat. The Sportsmen, if you haven't seen them, they've come out a couple times this year. They've taken their wings off. Tomorrow night they'll be given permission to keep their wing on. They put a wing on top. But their bodies are narrowed. Basically, it's an old-style body like the Vintage Hardtops, but they narrow them up to where basically the driver can sit in it and the driver can put his arms on both windowsills on both sides. That's how much they narrow the bodies up. They look kind of cool. They put on a great show. There's one in particular I hope shows up. It's an old pickup truck. I forget what year, but that thing was pretty cool last time it was here. And don't forget, next week, open practice next week on the 28th. That is Wednesday night. Happy birthday, Rich, for turning 25 again. Wednesday the 28th on October 31st, Halloween night, Saturday night. Man, we were looking forward to having all the kids we could possibly get on Halloween night, but now we can only, the kids we can get is limited to only IMCA modified, sport modified, super stock, and wingless sprint car driver and team member kids. Again, cannot open it up due to COVID-19 stuff. So only the teams that are here racing can have kids here. But teams, please bring candy, as we are going to have a trailer treat halfway through the night. Lights out, we're going green flag racing this time by. Coming around. Can anybody catch him? Darren Brown on the gas. Coming up off turn number 4. Down the front straight away into turn number 1. Darren Brown's got Captain Chaos Danny Wagner on his bumper. Ryan Winters chose the wrong side. So Captain Cass down on the low side. And Captain Cass said, thank you very much, Ryan. I'm going to take that second spot away. Here comes Ryan fighting back on the inside. Battle for second. Up off turn number 4 down the front straight away. But they're not alone. Here comes Spanky and Mark Hansen. Those 4 cars down into turn number 3. Meanwhile, up front, Darren Brown just having a nice little leisurely drive on a Saturday night here at Antioch Speedway. All the cars get through the north end of the racetrack, back up front. Battle for second. Danny Wagner gives the old chrome bumper to the back of Ryan Winters, going down the back stretch into turn number 3. Not quite close enough right now to make a move, but they go down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Winters now gets a good run through turns 1 and 2, and he stretches out by about 4 car lengths over the Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Wagner in the 3rd spot. Mark Hansen 4th. Spanky 5th. And Kevin Moralio, you're in that 6th and final transfer spot with 9 laps to go. In this 30-lap main event tonight, top 6 transfer. 1 car spins around at turn number 2, bringing out the yellow flag. Ten laps to go. Trying to see the number of that car sitting sideways down there. That is Sean the Kid Catucci spinning out of a top 10 running position. Lineup set. So again, next Saturday is Halloween night candy for the kids for the IMCA Modified Sport Modified Tri-State Pro Stocks. They got a big show in the Wingler Sprint Cars teams that are here. We're going to take a couple weeks off before we turn to racing on open wheel nights. Wingler Sprints, and the 600 Micro Sprints. That is Saturday, November 21st. That date added here in the last few days. Then our final 2 races of the year, November 27th and 28th. That's Turkey Night. That's what we're doing. We're not going shopping on Black Friday. We're going racing. That's right. The Jay's Mobile Welding Hobby Stocks, Wingler Sprints, Wing Sprints, and the the Four Bangers Mini Stocks are racing on Friday night, the 27th. On the 28th, it'll be the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Modifieds, and the Jay's Mobile Welding Hobby Stocks, finishing out our 2020 crazy COVID-filled year here at Antioch Speedway. And we look forward to having you here each and every one of those nights on Antioch Speedway TV. Darren Brown has control of the field, bringing him around. Green flag coming in the air. Brown down the front straightaway into turn number 1. This time Ryan Winters gets out in front. Yellow flag back out. Starting a little too soon, I believe, is what the yellow flag is for. Darren Brown being told our little start zone down there in turn number 4. That's where you do it at. It started it way back in turn number 3 that time, and Fabulous Bob said, no. One to go, single. Magic green flag back in the air. We're going to green flag racing next time by. Darren Brown. On the point, Ryan Winters takes the low side, puts Captain Chaos Danny Wagner on the high side. Mark Hansen giving that 18 Double D a great run here tonight for Devin Cameraman. Spanky up on the high side of row 3. Michael Brenner. Green flag back in the air. Field gets through turns 1 and 2, okay. Now we look up front. Oh, one car, they don't get bound in the backstretch, okay. One car spins around, I believe that is, gets hit by another car. 92. Brandon Wiley spun all by himself over there, and that does collect the $63, I believe that is. Buddy Old Shaka involved. He's been another one of them drivers that has gotten involved in multiple wrecks, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time at multiple different times tonight. So Wiley, Brandon Wiley, 9QA, started that out of Santa Maria, California, winner of heat race 3A. Flat right rear on Ellie Russo, 31 double D. Ellie Russo, flat right rear, so you'll have to go back and get that fixed. Ellie getting the black flag with the white cross. Or the white X, that is the mechanical flag, so she'll head back and get that repaired. And she'll get 2 laps for that. Lineup right now with 10 laps remaining looks like this. Darren Brown on the point. Ryan Winters in the second spot. Captain Chaos Danny Wagner third. Fourth is Mark Hansen. Fifth is going to be Spanky Michael Grenners. Sixth final transfer spot is Kevin Moralio. Seventh, 14 DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. Eighth is, I believe that's Scott Dahlgreen. I'm sorry, nope, that's Jack Haverty. In the 85 to his outside, the 64 of Eric Wessler. Then we have Scott Dahlgreen in the 10th spot. 11th is the 14E of Tommy Velasquez. 12th, the 29, and of Corey Eaton. 13th, the 43 of Sean Catucci. 13th. 14th is the 81R of Moose, Randy Miramontes. And in the 15th spot, it is the 92 car. Reason for our yellow flag, Brandon Wiley. 16th will be whichever one of the 2 cars that went out of the pits comes out first. Ellie Russo, I believe, is on her way back. I didn't see who the other car was that left the racetrack. Waiting for them to show up. Going to give the field 1 to go this time by. 10 laps remain, 30-lap main event. Top 6 transfer to tomorrow night's main event directly. Don't have to go through the heats and the B mains tomorrow night. Once again, our leader, Darren Brown, rode to himself. Ryan Winters takes the low side, puts Captain Cass, Danny Wagner on the high side. First time they lined up those two side by side, Ryan Winters had the choice. He took the high side and put Danny Wagner down on the low side. Wagner right now, that car is working well on the low side. So since then, he has switched that spot because Wagner had taken the position from on that very first time. Heading to staging. Ellie Russo on the 31 double D, but we're coming around to the yellow or white flag or green flag. Brown on the gun. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Darren Brown all by himself. Out in front, we got a battle for second between Ryan Winters and Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Winters had trouble in the middle, 3 and 4, put Wagner up to the second spot. Here comes Winter back on the low side. He has a fall in line coming up off turn number 2. Now looks underneath Wagner once again coming up off turn number 4. He's close, but not quite close enough. But now he is down into turn number 1. But he gets sideways, a 4-wheel drift. Has to get out of the gas. Spanky out to get out of the gas. He falls back a car length or 2. One car up on his roof. Red flag is out. One car on his roof. After the 18 double D of Mark Hansen got sideways, that car on the roof had nowhere to go. Hansen started that, I do believe. Driver's okay. That is the Kevin Moralio car. Those two cars, the 18 double D and the 40 car, were both in transfer position. San Catucci spun to avoid hitting, it looks like. Getting Kevin Moralio's car rolled back onto its wheels. Driver is okay. Kevin's okay. That's probably the hard part right there, coming down on all four wheels. We do throw a red flag if a car ends up on its roof, a wheel comes off. We'll allow full access to the racetrack for rescue personnel. Kevin Moralio, winner earlier this year at the regional event here. He won a national event, I believe, up in Marysville a couple weeks ago. Always fast in that 40 car. Getting the hook over there for that. Coming up, you don't see it on the schedule at the moment, but the four-bangers are going to be added to the November 27th race. If you have a four-banger or mini stock and you want to come out and race, come on out on Friday night, November 27th. There's a class we are trying to build up here at Antioch Speedway. If you're looking to get into racing, it is a, for racing-wise, it is an inexpensive way to go racing. Just get a four-cylinder car based on the year rules. I believe it's 2003 and older, if I'm not mistaken. Just have to, so make sure you read the rules before you do anything. Before you buy anything, before you do anything. Read the rules, make sure you get something that's legal. But gut the inside, put in a roll cage, have someone put in a roll cage. If you can't do it, you don't know anybody that can do it, let me know. I have people that will do it for you. Add in a racing seat and a couple other little things, and you can go racing. It doesn't take a whole lot of stuff. It's not a division where you're allowed to break open the engine and do a whole bunch of work to it and spend thousands of dollars on the engine. It is supposed to all be stock. So come on out if you want to go racing. Give me a yell if you're trying to figure it out. That's the kind of car I purchased a couple months ago, going racing with it, trying to help build up this division here at Antioch Speedway. The four-banger, we're going to change the name over to mini stock or something for next year. But it is a blast. They are a blast to drive. You don't want to miss it. Coming up on Friday, November 27th. Great job to the DNF crew and the officials out there getting all this stuff rolled away. Again, that was started by Mark Hansen in the 18 double D, winner of heat races 5A and 5B. And he spun himself out of a transfer spot for tomorrow night's A main. Top 6 transfer to the A main directly without having to go through the heats and B mains tomorrow night. On the point, it is still Darren Brown, winner of heat races 1A and 1B. In second is Captain Chaos Danny Wagner, Ryan Winters. Those two keep swapping that second place. Is in the third spot. Fourth is Mike Grennertz, Spanky. Fifth is now Tim Fitzpatrick in the 14 DN. Then Jack Haverty in the 7th spot. 8th is the 92, Brandon Wiley. Working on getting a lineup set. I'm going to stop giving you a lineup until we get this straightened out. Again, don't forget to tune in around 6 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll go live, 5:30, 6 o'clock, for tomorrow night's exciting, fun-filled evening of racing here at Antioch Speedway with the Delta Dwarf cars and the vintage hardtops, Valley Sportsman, for night 2 of Dwarf Car Mania. Head on over to where you're at, AntiochSpeedway.tv, and register for tomorrow night's action. Going to be a lot of great racing action for you. Have more cars here tomorrow night than we did tonight. I've been told at least a few more. One to go signal at the starter stand. Darren Brown, your leader. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, seconds. Ryan Winter, third. Mike Grenner, fourth. Fifth is Tim Fitzpatrick. Sixth, Tommy Velasquez. Seventh is Sean Catucci. Eighth, Eric Wessler. Ninth is going to be Jack Haverty. 10th is Brandon Wiley. Green flag in the air. 8 laps remain in this 30-lap main event for the Delta Dwarf Car. Dwarf Car Mania here at Antioch Speedway, night 1. Racing to get the top 6 directly into tomorrow night's A-main for the big win action. The guy that has been hard to beat all night long, Darren Brown, continues to lead. No one has gotten close to him, even threatened to put him in any other position but first. Ryan Winters does get past Captain Chaos Danny Wagner for the second spot. Yellow flag is out as one car spins around at turn number 3. Got debris on the front straightaway was actually the reason for the yellow flag, I do believe. Got some sheet metal there. One car did spin over in turn number 4, I believe it is a Corey Eaton car. Yep, it is a 29 of Corey Eaton over there. Darren Brown. That car is just flat out fast. No one has been able to keep up with him at all night long. So it's Brown, Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, Ryan Winter, Michael Grenner. Tim Fitzpatrick and Tommy Velasquez. T3. Those are the 6 cars right now in the transfer spots. Sitting outside looking in, Sean Catucci in the 43 car in the 7th spot. 8th, 64 of Eric Wessler. 9th is the 92 car of Brandon Wiley. 10th, Scott Dahlgreen. 11th, Jack Haverty. 12th is going to be Ellie Russo's in that position, but she's a lap down. I don't know that the 81R Moose Miramontes is a lap down or not. He might be in 12th. And then at the back of the pack right now, it is the 18 Double D of Mark Hansen. He is a lap down as well. One to go signal. Let's the starter stand this time by. Darren Brown is our leader. Again, Texas style restart. He can go high, he can go low, wherever he wants to start. Right now, he's running around on the low side. That's where he started the last couple times. He's starting on the low side. Danny Wagner right on his rear bumper. Ryan Winters to Danny's outside. Starting to pick up speed. Green flag in the air. Wagner spun the wheels or something. He lost ground real quick. Ryan Winters gets that second spot. Here comes the 14 DN of Tim Fitzpatrick. He's up to fourth at the moment. He's on the outside of Danny Wagner trying to pick up that third spot. Now he crosses over down on the inside. Wagner holds him off, gets down to turn number 1 first. Meanwhile, up front, Ryan Winters, the closest anybody is able to keep up with the Darren Brown car all night long. Here comes Ryan Winters. He's within 2 car lengths. Down the front straightaway to turn number 1. Ryan Winters in that second spot, trying to get around, trying to catch up with Darren Brown. Danny Wagner in the third spot. Fourth is Tim Fitzpatrick. 6th. Oh, 1 car. The 92 car drove in there, Brandon Wiley, and just drove into the back of the 43 of Sean Catucci. Yellow flag back out. Not sure if Brandon Wiley drove in there just deeper than Catucci did or if there was an issue there, but he just drove hard into the back of Sean Catucci, starting all this mess here. Eric Wessler once again in the wrong place and gets involved. Catucci's rear bumper seems bent way up now. Hearing over the radio, the 43 was going way slow, and that's why the 92 came into the back of it. Ryan Winters, let's talk about him for a minute. That 4N car, that was the closest anyone all night long has gotten to the back of the Darren Brown car. He stayed within a car length and a half of the Darren Brown car that time for a couple laps before that yellow flag came back out. Winters. Ryan Winter, winner of the second B main tonight to get into the main event tonight. Started back in, back in the 14th starting spot. Only took him about 3 laps to get him up in there. Working on getting the lineup set before we go back to green flag racing. 5 laps remaining in this 30-lap main event here at Antioch Speedway for the Dwarf Car Mania night number 1. Night 2 coming up tomorrow night. Don't forget the Delta Dwarf cars, the vintage hard tops, and the Valley Sportsman. Lineup is set. Darren Brown on the point. Ryan Winter second. Captain Chaos Danny Wagner third. Tim Fitzpatrick fourth. Fifth, Michael Grennert. Sixth, Tommy Velasquez. T3. Seventh is it's the 18 double D in that position. I think he's a lap down, Mark Hansen. So the 18 double D in that, he's in the 7th position. He's actually a lap down, so he's not actually running 7th. So that'll be the Jack Haverty car. Then to his outside will be Scott Dahlgreen, Ellie Russo, Moose Miramontes, the next row. Then we have Sean Catucci and Brandon Wiley. And at the back of the pack, the 64 car, Eric Wessler. Green flag back in the air. Yellow flag is out. Once again, 11 car going too early. We do have a go zone down there at turn number 4, and he's starting closer back to turn 3. So Fabulous Bob calling that one back again. He has been warned over the radio to not jump like that again. That is the second time tonight. Lights out, going to green flag racing. Danny Wagner. Ryan Winters in row number 2. Winters is the official second place car. Takes the high side, puts Wagner down on the low side. Green flag back in the air. 5 laps to go. Uh-oh. Looks like he's getting called for jumping again. So that's going to put Ryan Winters up on the point. That'll drop Darren Brown back one spot for jumping. One to go signal. Going to go racing. Ryan Winters is now our leader after that penalty on the Darren Brown car. First time Darren Brown has not been the leader for this main event. 5 laps remain in this 30-lap main event. 6 cars transferring. Those 6 cars right now: Ryan Winters, Darren Brown, Captain Chaos Danny Wagner, Tim Fitzpatrick, Michael Grenner, and Tommy Velasquez. Green flag in the air. Down the front straightaway. All the cars get through turn number 1 okay. Ryan Winters on the point. Darren Brown in the second spot. Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner in the third spot, 4th. 1 car spins around Randy Miramontes. The Moose keeps it going with down to the green flag. Here comes Scott Dahlgreen. Been running back in about 10th spot. He's now battling for the 6th and final, or no, he's in the 6th and final transfer spot, because the 18 car is a lap down. So put Scott Dahlgreen in that final transfer spot. White flag 1 more time, or 2 more times around. Ryan Winter on the point. Darren Brown 2nd. 3rd. Danny Wagner 4th. Mike Grenner 5th. Tim Fitzpatrick 6th. Scott Dahlgreen. White flag out 1 more time around. As long as Ryan Winters keeps it off the wall now, the infield keeps that thing fired, he will take home the win as he comes through 3 and 4. Winters takes the win. Brown 2nd. Wagner 3rd. Grenard 4th. 5th is Fitzpatrick, and 6th is going to be Scott Dahlgreen. Head downstairs for victory lane.
Down here for victory lane. Trying to catch up with Ryan here. Ryan. And Danny Wagner talking. Let's get Ryan up here first. Ryan Winters, well, you had to do it the hard way. Coming through the B main, started 14th and able to take home the win.
Yeah, the car was really good. I just was not doing good on starts. I kept missing shifts, give Danny an opportunity to pass me on almost every restart, and then Darren to get away. Then finally, when I got a good run on him and we were running good, then another yellow came out, and then they kept warning him not to jump the start, and he kept jumping it. So when I got the lead, I just knew I had to hit my marks. My car was really good, and I just couldn't make a mistake after that.
Looks like, once again, you and Danny Wagner had a blast racing each other. You guys always race hard.
Oh, yeah, we always race hard. Me, him, and Sean Jones, we always really try to beat each other really hard, but we beat and bang a little bit, but we race our butts off, that's for sure.
So he talked to you after the B main, and you weren't even sure. You had talked about earlier in the evening that you were going to be able to make it. So now you're in victory lane.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's pretty awesome. All the people that helped me get out to the B main, I can't thank you guys enough. That just shows the Dwarf car family. They're willing to get your car going because they want to beat you on the racetrack, not in the pit. So all the help that my dad was helping on the phone, because I'm not an electrician. He's a really good electrician. I don't know anything. I'm good at shocking myself, but that's about it.
All right, Ryan Winters, congratulations. Who do you want to thank for getting you out here besides them, your sponsors?
Especially my wife. She's back home with our 2 kids. She's amazing. She lets me go racing. They'll be out here tomorrow. I really like it when they're here. My dad and Gary Brown, they're always back home. No one ever sees them, but they do so much work on this car. M&M Chassis, Dwarf, Frank and Spanky, they're amazing. DRI shocks, the car's a lightning bolt.
All right, Ryan Winters, congratulations, and good luck tomorrow night. You made it to the main event. And so let me head on over here. Let's see, Darren Brown. Where's Darren? He didn't stick around, okay. So we'll go to, he went in, so we'll talk to Danny Wagner. Finished third tonight in the 11 double D. Danny? Getting some congratulations.
I know, for him jumping his car.
Danny, you had a lot of fun with Ryan there, looks like, racing back and forth to that second spot, but you just couldn't get up to the Brown car.
Yeah, I was. Me and Ryan had a great race, the whole race, side by side, and raced hard, but it was all fun and clean.
Looked like your car started better on the low side tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of hit or miss, really. It was when I got it right.
Oh, so driver, like Ryan was saying, it was the driver, not the car?
Yeah, it was. There was a few starts that I got perfect and a few that I didn't. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
So you transferred directly to the main event tomorrow night, so you won't get any track time as far as heat races or B mains go for tomorrow. So how do you prepare for tomorrow night?
Well, luckily I have 5 cars running, so I'll have a few on the track to see what the track's doing. But we'll just kind of watch the track, read it. Luckily, this is my backyard also, so I can kind of just look from the fence and know what the car's going to do.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
As we head on over and trying to remember here who finished third. Tim, fourth? Fourth, Tim Fitzpatrick. There he is. Tim, transferred directly to the main event. You just kind of quietly snuck up there.
I don't know. I was really struggling in the heats tonight, trying to get things done, and Bobby Brown was helping me, and we made some changes, and then just trying to get the car to work. Still not quite there, but it was a great race, and I was talking to Todd Dameron the whole time in there. You know, he just passed away, so it's one of the better races that I've had, and so I'm glad, very glad to be where I am to make the top 6.
So now you don't have to worry about racing your way in tomorrow night. You get to sit back and relax and just worry about the main event.
No, but I probably need the practice, so I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
All right, well, congratulations on transferring to the main event tomorrow night.
All right, thank you very much.
Tim Fitzpatrick in the 14
car as they sneak back over here. Devin Cameraman is here. Well, I'm going to talk to this guy.
All right. Well, I'm under
contest. Yeah, that's right. You're Spanky, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I don't know if who had more fun. Looks like you were having fun out there.
Yeah, I had fun. You know, it's kind of unfortunate. One of the racers, they were kind of upset, but you know, I don't come out here to upset nobody. But had a good time and good race. Happy to be locked in for tomorrow.
So how's that play into your game plan for tomorrow? You just sit back and relax and you watch what the track's doing, and so you know what to set up for?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to attempt to. You know, the older I get, the shittier I am sorry, my French. But the worse I am at reading the track. But yeah, we'll try it.
So I just want to say, your name comes up all the time. You help a lot of people out.
I sure try to.
I know back when I had a Dwarf car back in 2007, you helped me out, and I want to say thanks for that. But
You're welcome.
hey, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, 21 years.
21 years. Yeah. And you just keep right on there plugging away, and you're always running up front.
I try to.
Try to. All right, well, good luck. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good luck tomorrow night. And with that, where'd Scott go? There's Scott, and we'll go back over here. Scott Dahlgreen, sixth and final transfer spot. Not a bad way to finish the night. Get yourself directly into the main event.
Yeah, that's good. Want to thank Danny for helping me with a little bit of setup. We've got something that's not quite right. The thing just does not want to turn, but we made a couple changes and made it a lot better. And I made a couple passes there late up top and was able to get transferred, which makes it a whole bunch easier for tomorrow.
You kind of snuck up there. I kept talking, doing the line rundown and stuff, and you were like in 10th spot. You were kind of hanging back 9th, 10th spot, and then all of a sudden there you were in the 6th spot.
I kept getting the on the restarts, I was always starting the bottom. It was just really hard to get a good drive for the start, and the last couple I was up on top and start on the outside, and I was able to carry a lot more momentum going into one, so I could rail it on the top and got up to 6, so that's all matters.
All right, so plans for tomorrow night?
Oh, make sure nothing bolt it, make sure nothing falls off, and we'll see if we can get a win.
All right, Scott Dahlgreen, 21 Double D and 2019 champion here at Antioch Speedway. Congratulations. And that's going to do it for tonight's racing action and on Antioch Speedway TV. Thank you for tuning in. It's been another exciting, fun-filled evening of racing out here, and we'll look forward to having you back tomorrow night when we put on night 2 of Dwarf Car Mania here at Antioch Speedway. It has been an absolute blast. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have a pre-race show somewhere 3:30 or so on Antioch Speedway Buy Promotions Facebook page. Don't forget to tune in for that. And then after that, we'll be over on AntiochSpeedway.tv Facebook page for Joe's pre-race show. And we're going to have a lot of great racing action tomorrow night with the Delta Dwarf cars. Also, the vintage hardtops and the Sportsman. The Valley Sportsman will be joining the hardtops for some racing action tomorrow night. I'm Wiley Wade. Until tomorrow night, thanks for tuning in to Antioch Speedway TV. Good night, everybody.
I got to see if I can get that Jeep to push me back. I can tell.
Yeah, it's completely different than fucking easy up stuff.
You saw him? Your center of your turn was much better in the main than it was in the B main.
Yeah. The car got better. I tightened it up just a tad. The car was really good. I just couldn't do restarts. I kept missing from 7.